We're live. Yeah.
No, we're not.
What do you mean we're not? We're live.
We're not. We're totally not live.
It says
No.
what?
Totally not.
Oh, it says to stop streaming. See,
Nope,
we're
nope.
live. Told you
We're
we're
not.
live. Live.
Nope. What's the deal, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to today's episode of What's the DD podcast. And you know we're here with a live blog podcast, so you guys get to see our beautiful faces. You get to have a nice conversation with us. You get to enjoy the beauty of corn, electronic cars, tinfoil, cellular plans. We'll get more into that later, and of course, just our awesome personalities and funness and how much we provide our due diligence and really do not care what others say, because you know we're here to provide you guys the best up-to-date content of this is what's going on, this is what's fucked, and this is what you should not do. Now keep in mind, as always, ladies and gentlemen, we are not financial advisors, so do not take our advice in reference to what stocks you should invest in, but as always, buy everything. This stream is brought to you in part by Vegemite.
This stream is brought to you by Buy Everything. The one company that wants you to buy everything.
Buy all. All right, so to start the day off, we're going to be talking about corn.
Darn.
So the reason we're going to be talking about corn is because I had a dream. Okay, I didn't have a dream, but
I had a dream.
Host had a dream about corn and whether or not he shook the corn. And I'm like, that's a little weird. We don't need to talk about that. But
I could shuck corn.
We're going to let him dive into his dream. Tell us about his dream. Plus, you know, it's a new week. Tell us about your week. And then we're going to dive into corn, and we're going to see why he had this dream. I think that's a good plan.
So that's a good question. So I went on a road trip. And I went on a road trip after. So, okay, here's the timeline. We do our live stream, and we are talking a couple of days late about the oil crisis. You know, the colonial pipeline.
Let me interrupt you there for a second, though, bro.
Yeah, please.
We weren't late. There's so many people talking about it just now, and how it's impacting. And I'm just like, oh, you sacks. No, continue.
Yes. So we know that there's a problem with the oil. We know that there's going to be a shortage. We know that these guys got ransomware. I read later that I guess they paid like 75 Bitcoins or something, which, I mean, depending on the day, it's looking pretty bleak for Bitcoin. So I guess they got off easy on that. Maybe that's what caused the Bitcoin to crash. Movement of 75? No, probably not. No. But it did happen, and I guess they did pay it, which would come out to what? What is, I guess, an average of somewhere between 40 to 50,000, depending on what minute they pulled the trigger on it.
I mean, that's still pretty good money. And,
it is.
Especially they didn't have to leave their house. All they had to do was their computer and a little doopy doopy doop. You know. Yeah,
well, they probably had to leave their house to get Wi-Fi, and no more stealing Wi-Fi from the neighbor from them. You know, 1 million.
Yeah, they didn't want to get caught, so they just went to McDonald's or Walmart Wi-Fi. You know.
Yeah, they got that McDonald's Wi-Fi out there getting the Bitcoin. So yeah, they paid like 75 Bitcoin or some nonsense, but it doesn't matter because the damage was done. Well, while all this was happening, I decided afterward, on a spur of the moment, kind of. I guess I gave myself a day to decide on it. After telling my wife, I was like, "Hey, let's go somewhere," and then we were like later in the day, like, let's go somewhere tomorrow. I was just going to get in the car and tell her we were going to the boat or whatever and be like, bring a change of clothes just in case. And then just keep driving and like kidnap my family, you know? And I knew that wouldn't work because we do like a lot of packing and stuff. And normally we spend hours of research on anything we do, even though we are pretty spontaneous, whatever. Anyways, so we decided to drive into the direction of the crisis.
Oh, lovely.
So into Tennessee, where they get the feel from the situation. So you know, everything was going the way it was going. We knew about what was happening. We did the stream on it. I was already aware of all this stuff, but I was keeping an eye on it, and I wasn't sure where we going to Tennessee. We could have went north. Who knows? Who knows where we were going to go? I don't know. Nobody knew until I mentioned Gatlinburg, and then that was kind of a wrap. My wife didn't allow any other thoughts. But I explained to her, like, the next morning, I'm like, let me check the news, and I checked the news, and they changed the story in the media from, like, the ransomware and the oil this to everyone's at the gas pump taking all the gas. Like, they're putting it in plastic bags, they're putting it in buckets, and you know, all I can think of is that picture of Homer Simpson filling up the back of his car, the trunk. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
Like, that's all I could think of. That and the Hummer that, you know, blew up his Hummer from like 5-6 cans of gas in the back and then lit a cigarette, and it reaffirms the fact that just because somebody has a nice car, it does not. Yeah, exactly. They can still be stupid. And even though somebody's smart, they can still be stupid in other respects. Somebody could be a rocket scientist and yet still. Okay, no, I'm not gonna say anything crazy other than the fact that, come on, man, what are you doing? Stop it. Just stop it. This is the same as the damn toilet paper nonsense. Stop it. Anyways, so we called up. We couldn't get a hold of anybody at the gas stations in the region, you know, just to call them up and say, hey, how crazy is it right now? So we called up like a store across the street from a gas station and asked them, and they told us it wasn't too bad. We got down there, everything was fine. We kept a full tank, but it was a bit stressful, you know, knowing that we were going to be going into the belly of the beast during all of this. So, on the topic, this is why it matters. This everyone else already knew about. I disconnected as much as possible during this trip. I try to.
I mean, you need to. Every now and again, you need to. You really do.
I do it by connecting my children. So I give them my phone and connect them so they don't bug me. And then I just, I walk away from all media as much as possible. But I take a look at a couple things. And I had a dream. And that dream had corn in it. I was shucking corn, or there was a corn husk. There was something about a corn husk, and it was obviously subconscious. But Berkshire Hathaway A, B, BBSI, and corn was in the dream. And that's all I know. And this was like a day or so before I got, you know, left. And I was like, man, so I Googled it and looked, and it turns out that there was like a bridge in Mississippi, which I don't know how to spell Mississippi. That's how I spell Mississippi. Google, thank you. Ship broke? Ship stalled? Ship... What would you call that? Blocked?
I don't know what the hell happened to it, so I don't know what you're asking.
Some bridge, I guess, I don't know. I didn't read this stuff. Bridge had a crack in it. Let's just do that. Bridge. We'll just do that. Ship bridge. News. What do we got? Over 700 barges. This is 4 days ago, right? So
700 barges. Jesus.
Yeah, it must have like scanned this in, like, my subconscious must have scanned it from a TV screen, or maybe turning on my phone and it just glanced across it or some nonsense. But some bridge had like an issue. Now, we just had this problem. We just had in the oh geez, where is it? Whatever. That
that ship or freightliner that was stuck for a while in like
yeah.
the Panama Canal or something. One of those canals.
Yeah, the Suez Canal. Yeah. So we just had like a similar situation. And now look, 700 barges stuck, 900 ships stuck. Who knows? So yeah, meanwhile, that's a lot, right?
Very much so.
It's a fair amount, and this is a working river. You know what I mean? These aren't pleasure cruises. These guys are hauling coal and Amazon Prime, you know, stuff.
Should be a pleasure cruise.
Yeah,
imagine being stuck with all those people for that many days. Woo!
You just hang out in the coal in like a seat with the coal and stuff, and you throw it. What's that game where you throw the beanbags?
Like cornhole.
Cornhole. Corn. See, it's all coming together.
It's all related.
It's all related. This is all related. So this got me to thinking. They had this that went down. We got the oil problem, right? So we got the oil problem going on. Now, what does this mean, right? What does this mean when all of a sudden a major pipeline in the south to southwest up to the east, north? It's weird how I never understood why they call it the south. I guess they do. They need to change the name. Anyways, from the north, south, east to the east, that direction, the Colonial Pipeline shuts down. There's a dearth of gas, if you will, and because there is, or oil, whatever, there's a problem with gas, and then people go just ape shit crazy like they did with toilet paper, trying to hoard gas.
It's quite funny though when you look at all the different videos and everything on social media with people just fucking loading up. I mean, like the intelligence of people, especially when you look specifically at them putting gas in a plastic bag.
Yeah, that's bad. That's not good.
How far do you think they got?
Oh, gee, I don't know. Oh my God! Like, I guess it depends on how strong the bag was. I don't know. Like,
probably not very strong. A lot of them said like Walmart and Safeway and shit. So you know those are recycled bags.
Oh my God! You know, it's funny because most of the people I talked to on the trip said the same thing. And before I said it, they all brought up the toilet paper. They all brought up, this is the same thing as the toilet paper. They all brought up, this is just panic induced. And that's what it was. Before we left, I told her, I was like, look, the media narrative has changed. And it's because they want clicks and they want views. And they're all on there saying, it's a crisis. Everybody's hoarding the gas. For what? What are you doing? You're going to put gas in a plastic bag. How are you going to get it back in your gas tank? Have you ever siphoned gas? I've siphoned gas.
So what you do
is
you have your friend hold the bag up, and then like you pinch the bottom, and then you like poke a hole in it, and you milk it like a cow teat.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say more like icing. How you do the icing trick with the bag, maybe. But I guess
maybe they're idiotic.
I guess a cow teat.
Trying to siphon it out of the plastic bag.
Well, how would you do it? I mean, that would be the. I don't know. I thought that would be the way.
I don't want to know how to do it because it's already beyond me as to why they were doing it in the first place.
So here's the problem, right? And I'm glad I don't live down there. I have to mow. Like, I really have to mow. I had to mow before I left, and now I need to mow, and I need gas for the mower. And so now I have to go to the gas station and bust out the gas can for the mower, the other mower, and the what do you call the weed eater thing. And it's going to be awkward.
Let's just go electric.
Okay, first off, no, it's not even really possible. I mean, maybe it is, but for me, it has not been in the past. And no, I'm not doing that. I got to go get the gas, but I'm going to be there getting the gas. And I'm not, if I was on the area, I saw a picture of a guy who has like, on the back of his shirt, he had a sign. It was like, it's for my mower or something. He had a piece of paper like taped while he was filling up a gas can. And I don't blame him, you know, like people are crazy.
Calm down, guys. Like,
bunch of crazy people out there. So
I mean, you imagine how Karens react when they're told to wear a face mask and they go into the store. I mean, you imagine how some of them reacted. It's like, what's that gas for?
Yeah, they're probably calling the cops on you.
Sorry. I needed stuff.
So it's how it goes. I got to deal with it. What are you going to do? But so I got to thinking about corn because gas has a certain amount of ethanol and corn in it and other corn things and all this corn stuff. I got to thinking about all this crazy corn stuff. And when I got back, the night I got back, I immediately started diving into corn. I forgot most about what I learned. So too bad. Do your own due diligence. That's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about my dreams. My dreams. Not yours, mine. My dreams about corn. And so I guess since 2019, this is the worst corn sell-off on this corn index and maybe corn in general since like 2019. And it sells off, right? But like this is a bad one. Look at this. Like if you go back on this chart, okay, what is this? That's 2016.
Is this because how many of the ships that got stuck had corn in them?
Yeah, so I don't know, but I
like, was that a factor? Maybe.
I think that
Possibly.
it was, but I don't know for sure. The other factor was there was a corn report came out recently, and so I thought it was going to be the chicken report that really made everything. Speaking of which, where is Tyson? I'm just curious. I'm already out, but I am curious. Is it still? Of course it is. Stupid Tyson. Anyways,
Still going up?
I made money on it, so it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, it's so bad.
So the corn now, I'm looking at it and I'm wondering, right? A couple things. One, looking back on corn, so 2016 it had the sell-off. Now here's something interesting about corn. When Trump was president, he was up in Nebraska or something like that, and I watch a lot of political stuff, not as much anymore, but I was at the time.
I watched a lot of corn.
I watched a lot about corn, and I'm listening. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but most cornfields, they talk about like the American farmer. Most of the time, the American farmer is leasing out his field nowadays. Like especially after 2008, we lost a lot of American farms, and it sucks, but it's the truth. And so everybody who after 2008 has been like, the American farmer, I just call bullshit every time I hear it, because most of the time it's some huge conglomerate like Monsanto or some shit that owns all the fields. Basically, they're leasing the fields, so it's their corn, not the farmers. Yes, they get to keep leasing, but they don't get like profit. Anyways, Trump came out, and this is right before the trade war. He was making a deal with China or during it, and China was supposed to buy more corn than we could produce in a year, like twice as much than we are physically able to produce, which is awesome. What a great deal. You know what I mean? They never signed it. It was never signed or anything like that. But they said, yeah, sure, we'll buy it. He's like, we'll sell you more corn than we got or can make. And they were like, yeah, sure, whatever. We're fucking hungry. We like corn. Like elote. Anyways, so this happens, and this is what's interesting, is if you look at these drops in corn, oh my God, look at that. That's just brutal. I mean, we're talking
that's
14.
pretty severe drop.
It is, right? And this thing only goes back, at least from what I'm seeing on this chart, to, what was that, 2010? Yep. So we got 2010. Now, 2010, this is the Obama administration, right? The end of it, which means it's also the Biden administration. So I could be wrong, but I just have this feeling that whatever Obama was dealing with, like Joe's using his connections from the previous run, probably, right? Anyways, so corn was doing well. Then it took a little bit of dive, but it was still doing well, and then it was doing really bad in the end. Look at that. 2012, the Mayan apocalypse. Remember that one? That sucked, dude. That was
the
rough.
Mayans were still around. They probably would have just bought them the corn.
Oh my God! Gee, look at this. Is this a coincidence or what? So 2012, the Mayan apocalypse is supposed to happen. Mayans, corn, maize, and corn prices have fell. They have fallen. They have fallen.
I mean,
they fell. Fell a tree.
If we do think back to, our history and how good we are in history, didn't they get corn from the Americas?
Oh, I don't know. I think it came from Europe or something. Who knows? I don't know.
Let's
Ireland?
find out. Let's see. Because
they got maize. I don't think it's not the corn we have today by any means.
It's the
not
same
that Monsanto.
corn.
It's not the Monsanto corn. That Monsanto corn's got the good stuff in it, man. Monsanto. Maybe
corn
Monsanto
was originally domesticated in Mexico by native peoples around 9,000 years ago.
9,000.
So it did come from the Americas.
Oh my God, that's so long ago. But I guess if like humans been around for like a few 100,000 years, maybe it's not that long ago. And it also depends on if you believe in the Mayan prophecies or not, and how long. And if you believe in the space monkeys that came, and not space monkeys, but the extra planet, and they came, and anyways, yeah. So corn.
Scientology.
Yeah, Scientology. So corn has continued to fall, right? And then it started to rise, is what happened. Right around here. Right around, what is this? So, what is this? February 20th? Is this COVID? The COVID drop.
I love how like a lot of things we look at, you're always like, is this COVID?
It's all related to COVID. But look at this, just skyrockets. So COVID happens, everyone goes home and they start buying corn. What the hell's happening? I don't know what's happening here.
it's easier to store, you know.
So here's the
Dry
question.
corn, cooked corn, popcorn, kernel corn. We all got corn.
I love kernel corn, popcorn. I love all these corn. I love corn. I love everything about corn. That's why I was probably dreaming about it, because it's a regular thing that I dream about. So no
Makes
surprise,
sense.
really. But so it was something about. I mean, you got to look it up, but the corn report came out, and there's either a shortage or there's excessive corn. But here's a few things to consider, right? So we talked about chicken, the USDA regulations on slaughtering the animals. And so let's say I got 100 animals, right? And normally I'm killing like 10 a day, right? And then I'm getting 10 more. And then the USDA jumps in and goes, whoa, buddy, take it easy. 5 a day, max. That's it. That's all you get, right? So now I'm killing less. I guess it's not changing how much corn feed I'm using on the animals because I'm not bringing in new animals. Or is it? It's reducing my need for corn at that point, right? To some degree.
I mean, the way you say that, I'm killing less, just disappoints me.
That's the government, all right? The government's always trying to get you to like kill less until it's them who want you to kill. Then they're like, no, go to it.
I mean, oh no.
All right, so take that. We have this possible quasi theory, right? In addition to that, we have a major oil shortage. We got ethanol and corn producers pleading with the the EPA pleading with EPA, the EPA, and saying, hey, you got some heavy regulations on how much ethanol we have to use and how dirty the gasoline can actually be. Let us use like a little bit more ethanol. I guess it's more dirty. I don't know. And so there's that going on. This is an additional thing that's out there right now where they're trying to get that. And then in addition to that, you have the infrastructure bill that's coming out with Biden and a lot of talk about EV cars. He's all about Ford, which we'll talk about later, and stuff like that, because should be talking about GM, but it says he's talking about Ford, so whatever. Anyways, the corn people once again jumped up in like Biden's face and were like, bro, what's up? There was a chick who was like a Democrat who was like, I know you're not like forgetting about ethanol, bro, because it was the Obama administration, I think, that created the rules for how much ethanol had to be used in gas for it to be like better for the environment. And then after that, it just kind of went to shit with the market, and they never fixed it.
How would he remember? I mean, no offense to the guy, but I mean, he's old.
He is old.
He's old, and he has a lot of like
stuff on his plate.
Not mental issues, but yes, he has a lot of mental stress. To top it off, the dude's pushing like his fucking tombstone around. Like the dude's in his 70s. You should not be a president in your 70s. You shouldn't be a president when you're outside of probably your 50s, because it's too much stress. It's too much to worry about.
Yeah.
The fact that we have obvious, lifetime politicians. Oh, yay! No. We need a term on everything. I like the fact that, if I remember correctly, and I'm going off of memory here, it's been a while since I've been in school, but don't you have to be like a minimum of, is it 45?
Yeah, I think it's 45 or so. It's something stupid. It's too old.
And obviously a U.S. citizen. And I wouldn't say it's too old, but they could get away with reducing it to 35.
Yeah, I'd be fine with 35.
And I mean,
36.
A lot of people disagree with me, but honestly, I think requiring the individual who is president, because they control the military, to have a military background or a National Guard background or some form of armed services.
Can't do that.
I think that's a great idea.
No.
I'm just saying.
No, I don't want to get into a political debate with you, but one, no, it's completely unconstitutional. And two, there are a variety of reasons as to why that is not. We're already too warlike, right? How about the war stocks for a reason? No, we would be extremely warlike. No,
we're gonna get rich.
Yes, I know, but still, not. No, because then we could change. No. Anyways, so corn. Presidents. What does it all have to do with this? Nothing. What? What it does have to do with is this. We got the corn, right? With the oil, with the ethanol, with the arguing with Biden about the ethanol regulations, which I'm assuming that that's what's going to happen, right? So maybe it's not in the infrastructure plan and maybe it gets added. Maybe it's something completely different, but that's got to come out. And the whole thing's got to come out where something is going to happen with corn right now. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what it is, but I had a dream about it and I believe it. And I'm going to look into it more. And I'm probably going to forget to tell you guys, so I'm sorry. But there's also a very good chance that I'm going to be wrong and never really figure it out right. Or I can do like everybody else does and figure it out after somebody else figures it out. Like I'll wait for Bloomberg to figure it out. And then I'll be like, oh, yeah, well, obviously it was this Avi. Anyway, so there's the corn thing. There's the Mississippi River thing going on. I think there was a lot of corn that was on that. There's the oil thing going on. There's the USDA regulations with the feed going on. There's the trade deal with China where they were supposed to buy all that damn corn, and now I don't know. Are they buying that corn? Are we even talking to China anymore?
Corn. Honestly, I don't know. Like I mentioned, you're my news. So.
Oh, and then I like eating corn. I think if corn's been going up through COVID, I'm assuming Americans have had a taste for corn. That's what's happening.
I mean, maybe that would make sense.
Maybe got very popular during. It's an easy thing to. I don't know. Anyways, so corn's on my hit list right now. Corn and ethanol, and when we bring up ethanol, we're going to come back to REGI. Because REGI is doing pretty good. Plus, REGI, pretty sure they do a little bit with ethanol right here, right? We talked about REGI a little while ago. And I think we talked about it here, or we talked about it here. So, April 19th.
Wasn't it just like last week or the week prior? It was in the last 2 weeks, I think.
I don't know what last week was. It's all kind of a blur right now. I don't know, man. I just dealt with the most insane, like, recoveries here, by the way. If it hasn't hit your area yet, it's coming to a town near you. Recovery's about to go in full swing. It's pretty wild. Anyways, and that whole pent-up demand thing is a self-fulfilling prophecy like the lack of toilet paper and people hoarding gas. It's true, and it's going to happen, because when you say something's going to happen and everybody says something's going to happen, sometimes it happens, except for if it's like the end of the world 2012 Mayan apocalypse. Then, you can say it all you want. It does. It could have, if everybody would have believed it and would have went to war with each other, it could have been the apocalypse, but not because of the calendar broke. That's not why. Anyways, enough about Mayan calendars. REGI doing pretty good, I think. I don't know. I mean, I already kind of liked it down here. Look at that earnings. 394% is how much it beat on its earnings. So they had estimated 0.18 and they got a 0.88. So not bad.
Insane, though.
Now,
yeah.
That was May 3rd. Since then, REGI has also this to think about. The oil crisis and additional usage. So there's going to be additional sales of ethanol. That I'm sure of. To try and supplement the oil crisis, right? If it's already happened. Like this has already changed hands, I'm sure. And then on top of that, you got the regulations that are going to go through, and that's going to get pushed even harder if the USDA regulations reduce the usage of corn as well. And then that corn index, we need to look back into it and find out what is the deal. Was it an increase or a loss of corn? What's the reason why? Are they growing more? Or are they growing less? Either way, I'm liking REGI. I'm pretty confident in it, at least getting to what I had originally thought, because that's what I thought before this news happened. So now I'm even more confident, but I just don't like the distance anymore as much. But I still like it. And look at that. Ooh, look at that. You see this this blue line right here? I had to change my colors around because I got tired of doing it, so I just went with the defaults, which is annoying, but I'll get used to it. This is the 200 right here.
To clarify,
this is the 65.
I was still curious because corn's still in my head. So the agricultural supplies, that floated on the barges north of Memphis, about 84% was corn and about 13% was soybeans, according to Mike Steenhoek, an executive director of the Soy Transportation Coalition.
Yeah, well, maybe Mike's a big fat lie. No, I'm joking. He's probably super honest and chill, dude.
That could be why
I'd have a beer with him.
The corn stock went down because, I mean, how quickly does the corn go bad when they're shipping it? Or like,
oh, shit!
Oh, you must have spilled something, huh? Did you spill your beer? Ladies and gentlemen,
brought to you by not by that. I should have known better. That always happens.
To talk about Bounty, quicker picker upper.
I was actually talking about Bounty yesterday. I like Bounty. Yeah, so I think Reggie's going to feel an impact from that. I don't think the corn would go bad, and I think the bulk of the corn that's probably moving, I mean, that was how much of that's feed corn. You know,
I mean, that's a good point. Or how much of it is it now feed corn because it stayed an additional week, so to speak, on the fucking river?
Yep. So, or ethanol, or being processed for ethanol.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the play. I don't think that I can try and find a way to make money in the market on corn. Like, I'm not buying into Orville Redenbacher stock, bro. I don't think that's.
Anything, it's going to be Fisher's popcorn.
Oh, really? Never even had that. So
to interrupt this daily podcast, one of my buddies in Maryland sent me some freaking popcorn, and I don't know why he did it, but I am all for it. So
do you have some?
Yeah, I got some right now.
Hold on, wait, let me.
Meow.
What the hell?
Now this one's good. This one's the caramel popcorn.
It's pre-made?
The best one, yes, the best one. I don't have one in here because they're out in the other room. Is the Fisher's caramel popcorn with Old Bay?
Oh, really? I don't know.
Bomb.
I don't know. Wait, did you say caramel with Old Bay?
Yes.
Okay, maybe. Yeah. Maybe. I kind of.
It is bomb.
Are you being paid for this? Because if you are, like, you have to tell YouTube and Google and.
No, I'm not being paid for this. But if they want to pay me for it, all they have to do is send me a couple free bags a month.
I was going to say, you don't even have to pay me. I'll take the popcorn. I don't know. I like to pop my popcorn, but unless it's white cheddar popcorn or caramel, I don't pop.
This Fisher's popcorn is made on the pier in Maryland. Like, I don't know which one. Like, my buddy lives in Maryland. I don't know. He says
making popcorn on the pier, and then bagging it up.
Their shop or whatever makes it fresh on the pier, and then they bag it up and they sell it.
That makes more sense than them being in like a food cart making popcorn and bagging it up like I thought.
You know, like the big old bag of kettle corn from the fair.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, they make the kettle corn, then they bag it up and put that thing on.
Kettle corn with some Old Bay would probably be pretty good too.
Slap that thing in a UPS Mercedes Benz. You know, they're rolling around the Mercedes now.
What?
Yeah, you know, because they're so cheap to repair. A monster.
Yeah, 100%.
So
cheap repair.
I like popcorn. I like corn. I like Reggie. And what I was originally interested in was this, I think was.
Now, just to clarify, you did switch the screen back, right?
What? Expected to.
I know people want to see my beautiful face,
all
but
this stuff.
If you're gonna put something up for us to look at, we gotta be, you know, in this together.
It was GPP, Green Plains. This was my first thing that I thought of when I started researching and looking into all this. It was, how can I get in on this? And GPP was the one I landed on. I wish I would have looked at Reggie because they were doing just fine, but I don't know if it's because of this or not. GPP's got quite a bit of a bounce right here, you know?
Yeah, a little bit. It dropped a bit, but it definitely has gone back up.
Yeah, but I started looking at it here.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Friday or Thursday, like one of these days or Saturday, or I don't remember. Might have been Saturday when I started looking into it.
Let's see.
I should have put a mark here, but
give people a quick update here on this the GPP. So the GPP is the Green Plains Partners LP, which provides ethanol and fuel storage, terminal, and transportation services by owning, operating, developing, and acquiring ethanol and fuel storage tanks, terminals, transportation assets, and other related assets and businesses. The company was founded on March 2nd, 2015, and is headquartered in Omaha, Nebraska. Now, what are the coincidences of the shortage happening because of this ransomware? And this company that stores ethanol and stuff for fuel starts to see a rise in their...
I thought that too.
That's guys, get your What's the DD official aluminum hats on.
Yeah.
Located at our merch store. Yeah. All you gotta do is you go to Walmart, you buy the aluminum foil, you put it on your head, and you write What's the DD. Done.
Hell yeah.
All right. Otherwise, we'll get one set up on the merch store. That'll be great. We'll all wear them. On stuff. Yeah, that's kind of, and this was established in 2015, so this was like right before, Trump came into office in 2016, back when, the Biden and Obama-Biden, campaign, made that change. So, I mean, that's interesting.
So I'm not saying they're the ones that did the ransomware.
Fucking government. Wait.
That's an accurate statement. I think that's accurate. That sounds pretty fucking accurate. So I'm interested in this one. I feel a little bit more comfortable with REGI though, because I was already looking at it, and because this has already got such a, large candle right out the gate. It just, I don't know. Same thing is happening though. Nope.
What's the Mac Daddy saying? By the way, for those of you who don't know what the Mac Daddy is, that would be the Mac D, our nice little guy down here.
I don't know. I mean, it looks like it could be going up or it could sell off more. It's questionable, but it looks very likely that it's going to continue to rise. I mean, if we look at the trading views nonsense here, boom, strong buy for a day, sell in a week. I guess it's not as pretty as I thought. I don't know. I think REGI looks better, and this is why, other than just the Mac Daddy, which looks pretty good too, because see how low and it's starting to go back up, right? What goes down must come up, hopefully.
All right, maybe. Now, we've talked about REGI before, but to give people a quick idea while Jerry's going over these graphs for us, these amazing candlesticks, it's a graph. Don't let him fool you. It's just a graph. REGI is a Renewable Energy Group, Inc., is a holding company which engages the production and trade of biofuel and renewable chemicals. It operates through the following segments: biomass-based diesel and services. The biomass-based diesel segment processes waste vegetable oils. We're talking about corn. Animal fats. Ooh, we're talking about more corn that was fed to the animals. Virgin vegetable oils. Oh, we're still talking about corn. And other feedstock, also corn. And methanol into biomass-based diesel. The services segment offers services for managing the construction of biomass-based diesel production facilities and managing ongoing operations, third-party plants, and collective fees related to the services provided. The company was founded in August 2006 and is headquartered in Ames, Iowa. Perfect place for corn.
Yeah, right?
No, Iowa.
Nebraska or Iowa? Who's the capital of corn? Like, if you were to have a fight, who's got the corn? Either Nebraska or Iowa, right? One of the two. I'm going with Nebraska. Nebraska is definitely the one that is refining the ethanol more.
Ranking of the states that produce the most corn, and
give me Nebraska.
You are wrong.
Fuck you. You know, re-Google it.
You got fucking third place.
Re-Google it, because you're wrong.
I'm not going to re-Google it. Google is never wrong. Google is Google. Now, with Google, the #1 state for corn is Iowa, followed by Illinois.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, that was based off of stats from.
Okay, all right. Google another thing. #1 state for refining ethanol. That better be Nebraska. If it's not, I quit. I'm leaving right now. Fuck you.
It's not.
And I never liked you anyways, man.
Continues as the leading state in ethanol plant capacity as of now, mind you, these documents are coming from January 2018. So it doesn't specify anything about 2019, but its capacity was 4.177 billion gallons per year, with 98.8% representing operating capacity, and 43 plants in operation. Yeah, Iowa, you're losing this never-ending corn battle.
Whatever.
Just saying.
I was right about corn. There's something amiss with corn right now. That I was right about. What is it? Fuck if I know. I don't know. It's probably there's a wind. Shit, I don't know. Since. All right, moving on. Are we done with corn? Let's get on to something that matters.
We got corn, REGI, Green Plains. Now we're moving to AT&T.
Okay, let's get our tinfoil hats on for this one because I brought this up with Verizon. Okay, this is, by the way, my smart move of getting in at 32. So I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Nobody seems to be talking about this. Nobody seems to care, and I'm just some kind of wackadoo, crazy nut job when it comes down to it. Right?
Sure.
Okay, now this is true. The doctors have told me this. The police have told me this. The judge told me this. I am aware of this. My wife, my mom told me this. I am aware of these things, right? However, when Verizon separates all of its media, right? So it sold Yahoo and it sold AOL and it sold all of its online media. It was weird. They sold it at a loss. It was weird. It wasn't just weird that they sold it at a loss. It was weird that they removed themselves from media. Media is a big deal. People like media. Do I have Disney in here anywhere? No. Okay.
They love TikTok. They love Twitter. They love Twitter Talk.
Love that shit. They love Twitter Talk. Is that a thing
yet? They love YouTube
Trademark?
Shorts, you know?
Everybody loves it, right? So
YouTube Shorts is the new TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. Be prepared.
No, it isn't.
It is.
Is it?
It's the new TikTok.
I thought
it totally is.
I thought Facebook was the new TikTok.
Nobody likes Facebook.
That's true. Nobody.
You got Zuckerberg over there.
Nobody likes it. Not even the people who work for Facebook like Facebook. Literally, they really don't. They're not happy there. They could use some help.
Yeah.
So
Google,
Verizon
help us.
sells all their shit, all their media, and immediately my first instant knee-jerk reaction is one of two things, right? It's either impending regulation for online tech media companies is inbound, which I don't think that that's something that people would really be able to argue with anyways, right? Like everyone knows that that's, if it's not coming, it's been coming for a long time and people want it to come. Not saying, I don't care if I want it to come or not.
So speaking of which, and I know this doesn't deal with, the States, but my buddy in Canada, they're attempting to pass a bill, and it involves them being able to monitor and control your social media content.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How are they controlling it? They're
Canada.
gonna post that they like some shit under your name? Is that what they're saying? The Canadian government's gonna we like
of what
hockey.
You would be posting compared to not what you're liking, because obviously they're controlling what is being allowed to be posted.
Well, aren't they already doing that everywhere?
I mean, I would imagine, but apparently this actually was coming out in one of their bills or whatever that they're doing, and I was just like, that's funny. It's now I'm going to start doing a bunch of Maple Leaf TikToks, and people are going to be mad at me, and I'm just going to be like...
I'm not in Canada. I can do it. Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, it goes down the same boat in reference to this situation.
Well, it does. And I mean, Europe basically led the way on a lot of this, right? And so Europe puts this thing out, and now every single damn website you go to is like, hey, here's accept that we like cookies. Or that we're taking your cookies, or we're selling your cookies. Some shit about cookies on the websites. Every website I go to, what's a website I've never been to? Give me a name of a website that is clean and wholesome that you think I've never been to.
Cornhub. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, no, I'm not typing that in. I'm not typing that in. I'm afraid of what that could be.
Fool's joke at one point.
Did they? Yeah. Jeez, man. Maybe if there's anybody in chat, they might have a website. There's gotta be. What's it called?
Dogpile.
Dogpile's a search engine. I've been a Dogpile.
I know. Oh well.
Is it still in business?
I don't know. Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves.
Is that still around?
.com. Let's see.
Oh my
shit.
God, it is.
Did I just get a virus?
It's just ask.com.
I feel like I might have just gotten a virus.
You're welcome.
57. Okay, so it did not, but I'm going to click on one of these random ones.
There's nothing like getting in.
And that. Oh my God. I can't get off of this site. It's not taking me anywhere else. It's all inside their site.
Yeah.
This is insane. All right, different website, because Ask Jeeves or Ask.com just now.
It's all about branding, man.
Give me something else. Give me another website. Give me
something else that you haven't used.
I don't know, or yeah, because then that way it asks me for the cookies. What's the name of a website?
Zydex.com?
What's that? What is that? A drug?
No, it's not a drug. It's a computer. So XIDACS. Probably got that wrong. Oh, X. There you go. Nope. XIDAX.
XIDAX. I feel like I'm gonna go to the wrong website here.
Boom.
Okay. All right. And it's not doing it either.
Why isn't it asking you for cookies?
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like every single website in the world does this.
It was a new regulation, and you have to accept it because it's basically allowing them to track what you're doing on their site, and it's you giving permission. No, they're not mining rigs. They're.
Is this that AMD case?
No.
All right. Well, you know what I'm talking about. You go to a website and it asks you if you are going to accept cookies.
This website uses cookies. Please accept so we can stalk you now.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And you accept. Everyone accepts.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that took way too long. The point is that we know that Europe did like these regulations. We know that everyone else had to fall in line because you couldn't be in a business if you didn't fall in line with this damn shit. So you fell in line. You got with the program, right? And now Canada's starting to do it, and America's been talking about it for a long time. And they've always also been talking about the election and the this and the that and all these different things. Look, I am very, very confident that we got regulation inbound for media companies. So a couple things quickly to look at this on this AT&T right here is one, you got this right here, right? You got the 65 crossing the 200 right here. Look at that. Ooh, Mac Daddy says it's going to sell off and it's overbought, but whatever, because that's crossing right now. And on top of this. By the way,
this is a graph for those of you that don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
It's a graph of some candlesticks. There's some candlesticks on this graph. It's a candlestick.
It's not a candlestick. It's a graph. It's a pie chart. Stop trying to go to where it shows the word candles. It doesn't mean.
Would you prefer this nonsense to? I'm not doing that. Get that off of there. I'm gonna mess something up. Anyway, so AT&T is now selling off Discovery. So recently, there was a hedge fund company.
Is Disney going to buy?
Look, I'm just gonna say it. All right, I got my tinfoil hat on right now, and there is a fucking conspiracy at works. There's a conspiracy. Okay, Arpeggio, Arpeggio. You know
Are
the
you
name of
trying
it?
to say someone's name? 'Cause
Arpeggio. Hedge fund collapse. March 20. Okay, let's go to. All right, 1 month ago. The sudden liquidation of Huang's Archegos, whatever, capital management sparked a fire sale of more than $20 billion in assets and left some of the world's, spoiler alert, go to their site and figure it out. And that's, I'm advertising for them now, and corn and popcorn too from Maine, from the boardwalk.
Archipelago.
No, it's Archegos on this because it's a different word, but that's how I remember it because something's wrong in my brain. So on March 22nd,
Archipelago. Just so you know.
in like the middle of the night, this there's like a bunch of these shares that are like traded in the middle of the night, right? Big deal. Everyone like the next day is like, what the fuck's happening? We don't know, and it keeps selling off, and everybody keeps selling off, and then the fear and the panic and everything happens, and you got Discovery A, and you got Viacom, and I think you also have Discovery B are all involved. Something else, but A and Viacom get hit the hardest on this major sell-off of this hedge fund that shorted something too much and screwed up and basically decided to had to close up the entire hedge fund, like $20 billion worth of assets. It's not very common at all. It was a big deal, and it took this company, which is Viacom, talking about, but it will also took Discovery E, but A, because that's the one that got hit. A, which had been running up since December 20th. Look at that. I mean, this thing is at 28.22 to 78, and then within a couple of days, this thing drops down to the floor. Right. Now.
Yeah.
So this happens. Verizon happens, right? With the with the Yahoo and the AOL business, and then AT&T puts a deal out, and I don't know if it's 100% through or not. I feel like I shouldn't be talking about this until it goes through. SEC, do not pay attention to a thing I'm saying until after the trade is done and these stocks rise, so I can make my damn money and get the hell out, and then you can investigate it all you want. So if we go to not Viacom, if we go to Discovery, we'll just go to AT&T. That's the best one to look at on this. So if we look at AT&T, Jim Cramer, whatever, I'll have to cut their dividend. Shut up, Jim. Should expect a dividend cut. Oh my God, look at all these options. Like, this is insane. Warner Media chief is negotiated an exit on the wake of the deal. So the media chief, the Warner Media chief, is that a title? What the hell?
Sure.
Struggling big tech, options alert. Oh my God. Let's go to something a little bit more boring. Discovery A.
Something a little bit more boring?
So it's a Discovery deal. So AT&T is dropping. They're creating like a secondary company, right? So it won't be associated with AT&T is my understanding. I guess it's a complicated merger that's happening, which is like a new company is being built, and it's going to have Discovery and it's going to have HBO and all this shit. But in the deal, how it's being done, the thing that brought it to my attention was that AT&T is a telecom company, just like Verizon is a telecom. It's a communications company, right? Is exiting from media. Well, it was a media company. AT&T.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. AT&T was a media company, and Verizon was trying to become a media. Both of these communications companies were trying to be media/tech media companies, and both of these major players exited.
I mean, they wanted that monopoly, but now they found out, they got some sort of let's just say, inside information in reference to this is what's going to happen to the media.
Had to be, right? How could it?
I mean,
how could it not
makes the most sense. Do we have actual evidence? No, it's pure speculation, of course. However, if you investigate them, I would highly recommend it, and I would accept all rewards for, of course, our due diligence.
Investigate them after I've made some money on the stocks, damn it. The whole process involved with it.
Oh,
so,
bummer.
Look, if you go back to when the E911 Phase 2 was enacted, right? At this point in time, there was, I was watching Senate or the House or some nonsense, and they were like, we have to be able to track anybody who has a cell phone in America by 3 feet of the cell phone, whether it's turned on or not. And they were like, why do you have to do this? And they were like, well, picture this. Little Johnny's like hiking up in the mountains and he breaks his leg and he can't like call anybody because the phone's out or something. And we have to be able to find him in a mountain. So they were like, oh, yeah, no, that's definitely it. We need to do this, right? Now, with that being said, lots of people go missing who have cell phones and they're not fucking finding them. They're not finding them using this shit. Right.
That's because they didn't walk up and go, you know, we need to enable the Patriot Act and find these people. So give me a couple seconds. Oh, perfect. He's right over there on the other side of the hill, guys.
And
we
so
were searching the wrong way the whole time.
And this has to do with the Patriot Act. This actually all has to do with the Patriot Act. It's all tied together, right? So during this period of time, I think it was AT&T had the technology to be able to do this, and like nobody else had the technology. Verizon, which I don't know if you're aware of or not, is actually originally a part of AT&T. It's part of Ma Bell. So Pacific Bell Labs is like real big. They were really big on, like what's that stuff called? R&D, research and development. Right?
Yeah, we're going spelunking. Yeah,
all that shit. And then the government comes in and is like, no, bad phone companies. We want you to be 5 different companies now. And so now it's like 5 different companies. So it's like all the same company, but now it's like 5 different companies for competition so that it's not a monopoly, I guess. Anyways, so that happens. Then the E911 Phase 2 happens later on, and only they have the technology. And then some other companies have the technology. But I don't know if you remember, but there used to be a lot more cell phone companies. And after 9/11, we lost a bunch of cell phone companies. Those companies all went out of business because they didn't have the technology and couldn't buy the technology. And there was a deadline set on they either had to have the technology enacted by this date or they were out of fucking business. And so AT&T and Verizon and Sprint and all these companies like gobbled them up. And we got left with like 5 companies. We had like 15 or some shit. And I think Sprint was almost not going to make it too. And they're like, please, can I have some more of that technology? And AT&T was like, fuck you, bro. You don't get shit.
And now T-Mobile owns them.
And they knew about this before it happened. So when we say insider information, yeah, I tend to fucking think maybe these guys got a little bit. They've been, not just in this case, they've been in the know for a long time. You know what I mean? They're hanging out in Washington nonstop.
You may not want to consider, for instance, insider information either. I mean, it's all going to be, your own judgment, your own thoughts. But even if it's not insider information, I'm keeping those air quotations, not insider, and now making not insider information. Then whomever is providing them that information is one hell of a good guesser based off of what we're looking at so far.
Now, well, okay, that is to say if that's the reason why. So we don't know, and nobody's talking about it, and nobody knows, but this is what I do know. Verizon gets out of the tech media game, right? AT&T follows suit immediately after that. I mean, we're talking, what, a fucking week, 2 weeks later? AT&T gets completely out of media? It's just a little fucking weird. It's just a little damn weird. So is it because I still got to fall back on the same things? Is it because heavy regulations coming into play and they don't want a part of the damn shit because it won't be worth their time? Or is it because there's infrastructure money coming down the line, but it won't be available unless they're sole infrastructure? And so once they leave the media, Now, are they now considered like 100% or 90% or whatever pure infrastructure, and it's not a monopoly, so they're more likely to get these government contracts for 5G infrastructure? The Biden bill, I don't know, it's 1 point something trillion. You read the damn bill. I'm not reading the bill. You do your own damn due diligence, but I'm assuming in it they're going to talk about 5G, because how the hell is internet not part of infrastructure right now? Internet is as important to an American's life or somebody on the fucking planet right now as electricity.
I mean, if you look at everything that happened, due to COVID and everybody that's working from home, in order for them to work from home, they had to have internet. It was a must-have. Can
you imagine if you didn't? Couldn't afford it?
In order to work. I mean, yeah. I mean, that would be very shitty. Luckily, you can get very shitty internet for as little as like $20 a month.
Yeah.
But regardless, you kind of have to have it in order to do anything. It's just crazy like that. And on that note, I'm gonna go grab me some more coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay.
But you have to have it. So yes, in my opinion, absolutely should be part of the infrastructure because it's a necessity.
So that's where I'm at with it. Is it infrastructure? Is it regulation? Got an echo from his microphone. Echoing. That's funny. Anyways, so it could be infrastructure. It could be regulation. I don't know, but there's something. There's definitely something here that they know about, that I don't know about, that I want to know about. And so the trick is, what does that mean? So if Discovery is teaming up with HBO and Time Warner and whatever, and they're going to start like a new type of thing, or I don't even see Time Warner, but Warner Media, and they're going to have like their own separate company now, and then I guess if that's happening, what happens to Discovery stock? And so I got in a little bit on the Discovery stock. It's basically on a random tinfoil hat gamble at this point, because I don't know. If Verizon gets out of media and AT&T gets out of media, is it because they believe it's going to fall? That was my first question when it was just Verizon. But now that it's not just Verizon and AT&T is in this mix, they would have to expect that they're going to keep that company, but it's going to fall and then they're going to get it back? Or it's just that these communication companies are about to get some type of, bonus, let's call it. And if they're getting something, then it's probably, I would assume, from the infrastructure bill. And so that's why I had to pick up a little bit of AT&T. And whatever caused it, throughout the day, it definitely had more action than it's seen and since December 20th, I guess. It's had some, but that was more than then. Been a while since it's had that kind of action. So there's something fishy going on here. The MACD doesn't like the situation. This is just a pure play on tinfoil hat. I don't know. Got to take a chance on it. And then same thing with this. What's going to happen here? I've been wanting to I've been looking at Viacom and Discovery. B is a bit safer. I took a small piece in each. I didn't touch Viacom, but it's been a question on my mind as to where's the bottom from this crazy drop, and would it make sense? I've heard a lot of people that I've talked to about this say it's not just that this is the bottom, it's that this is where it should be. It should have never been up here, and so it's right where it should be right now, and that's probably true. But if there is a merger that is actually not something that they're dumping because there's bad news on the way, and it's because it's the right thing for these companies to do, then yeah, you got Disney, you got Netflix, you got HBO Max, which would be this now, right? This would be the HBO Max family. Discovery would be merging with them, and then who else is out there? Hulu, right? So you got the Hulu, and I don't know who else is there. Disney, Netflix, Prime. Prime's the other one. You got Prime. So there's an interesting question, right? But not too interesting. So if Amazon all of a sudden dumps Prime Video into a separate company, that would tell me that it's because of regulation attached with tech media that they don't want to be a part of. But if they don't, it doesn't tell me shit, because the two companies that have done it so far were communications companies, and Amazon's not a communication company. So does Sprint have media? Who are other companies? We have Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint, right? Are major U.S. carriers.
Major U.S. carriers, my ass.
Oh, they're major. Carrying some shit. Stika.
Yeah.
Aha!
So
Look! It did it.
Oh.
Look, click allow all if you agree to storing the cookies on my device. Or I could do the consent manager. That's just...
Hey, at least you finally got it to work.
Verizon, Sprint, Leap Wireless, US Cellular, AT&T, Other, and Metro PCS, and T-Mobile. You know who they're not mentioning on here? Is who's Ryan Gosling's company, or Ryan...
Oh, Ryan Reynolds?
Yes! Who's his... he's got a company, right? Leap Mint Mobile. That's it. Yeah. I love it. He's got one commercial where he's like, Mint Mobile. He's like, it's going to be better. And the guy's like, how? And he's like, I don't know. I don't fucking know how.
I mean, he's honest.
Which Mint Mobile's just a white label version of one of these. I don't know which one it is. I'm assuming Metro PCS is probably just a...
Or Straight Talk. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all just white label shit. Leap Wireless is the government one, right? That Cricket, is that Leap?
I have no idea.
It's Sprint, it's Verizon, it's Metro PCS, and I guess maybe US Cellular and T-Mobile.
It amazes me that US Cellular is still around.
Yeah, so I guess it'd be T-Mobile gets the other big chunk.
I'm surprised this thing still shows Sprint, considering T-Mobile owns Sprint. So like,
yeah,
Sprint's
right? What the hell? Media subsidiary, I guess.
I have a cat biting me, so I'm gonna bring him into the stream. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, we got a cat. Nice.
We got a cat.
Hey, I came back and all my cats are alive. Isn't that great?
I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't they be? But yeah.
Because we were gone for like days, man. They had to fend for themselves out in the wild.
Wow.
Against the elements.
Against the elements.
Yes.
God.
They're fine. Viacom and T-Mobile reached a major content deal. What the hell is this? All right, who's Viacom?
Let's take a look.
Okay, so I guess here's the question that we're looking at. Here's where we're getting down.
CBS.
This is
Viacom. CBS is one of the world's
my God, it's Viacom.
Entertainment content that connects to billions of people.
Holy shit! We cracked the code.
Mass media company. Now, has Viacom sold? Oh wow, they dove a lot.
It was part of the drop with Discovery, with that hedge fund that went out of business. So T-Mobile is owned by Sprint, right?
No, T-Mobile owns Sprint.
T-Mobile owns Sprint.
T-Mobile bought Sprint. Sprint is no more.
So T-Mobile's next.
To drop?
No. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at. So I need to put a note here. So this show was all really about fucking T-Mobile this whole damn time. Sons of bitches.
We're doing our due diligence, though.
Yeah,
for you guys.
This is a tinfoil hat due diligence right here. All right, so T-Mobile has some deal with Viacom. We have to see if if they own portions of it. But if they do, they should be the next. If my theory is correct, then T-Mobile is about to sell off all the Viacom. And in addition to that, it also means that the Archegos, whatever the hell, hedge fund drop wasn't just what everybody thinks it was. It was on to much more than that. They knew something, and that's why they got out. They got the information too soon because the panic. This whole thing's bigger than you thought it's bigger than GameStop, or it's
the
it's
next game.
it's a part of GameStop, which there was also some theories about that. All right, so now we got Viacom, we got T-Mobile. So let's take a look real quick at Verizon, right? VZ. So Verizon, like we need to go to Benzinga. Wait a minute, what the hell? There. All right, go to the news, and we go. I probably should have just pulled up a news channel and searched this. Yes.
So with T-Mobile, the deal that they made with Viacom wasn't to purchase Viacom. It was to basically offer Viacom products.
Right, and remember AT&T was offering HBO.
Yeah. So let's see.
So they probably own some of the company. I guess that's, you Google that while I check for the news. Check and see if T-Mobile owns any portion of Viacom or stock in Viacom, because they would have, if you put in, does T-Mobile own stock in Viacom, they have to do a Form 8 on it or some shit. Let's see. So Verizon and AOL. Right. Yahoo. I'm gonna pull up Yahoo. April 28th. Okay. And we got Verizon here. Let's take a look here. Chart. Trading that one, but that's okay. And
so T-Mobile's TV service includes Viacom channels. So T-Mobile does have their own TV service.
Okay, so they do have a media branch then. They are technically a tech media company if they have that. And so, let's see, what's that date again?
That was back in 2019 when they made the merger for the deal for...
My dog's at your house?
No, I opened up my window. It's hot as fuck, guys. I'm sorry.
That's good.
Like
sounds like my dog barking. Okay, so Verizon goes up on the news of this. Verizon goes up from 56 to 59 and down to 57. So it goes up.
The deal that was made, or if you're looking at the T-Mobile Viacom, that was back in April of 2019.
No, not yet. We're gonna check them in a second. First, we are gonna check today's deal with, well, it's basically today, so with AT&T. And look at this. So it goes up. And what's the period of time on this? Not that I say it's going to follow the exact same path, but it should follow something similar, because these other guys, they know a lot more about the shit than we do, right? So yeah, so news breaks, big bar, news breaks, big bar same day, continues to rise up. So AT&T, if it follows the same path that Verizon did on a similar story, then it continues to rise, and at some point in time it gets cut in half, and who knows where it keeps going down. So definitely going to want to get the fuck out. Now, in addition to that, we have T-Mobile. So if...
Right, I'm shutting this fucking window. Oh. Otherwise, I'm going to kill a dog.
Oh, don't do that, man. The internet will not be happy with you.
Peter, come on down from the Capitol. I'm ready for you. Ready for you, buddy.
Oh, jeez. I don't think PETA has anything to do with dogs. No, that is my dog barking.
No, I just shut.
Yeah, my dog's
your dog could be barking as well, but.
Okay, so T-Mobile's already on the rise since earnings, and it's a beat on earnings, and it boosts up. So T-Mobile's next. If T-Mobile sells off, so I guess the real question is on T-Mobile at this point in time is, if I'm completely wrong, if what I'm thinking of doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and it's just pure fucking chaos, which it probably is, I'm probably like, you know, that crazy guy in the movies that's like really close to something, but so far off fucking base, it's insane, right? That's probably me right now. It's probably
Woody
they're
Harrelson
just all invested in
2020.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm Woody Harrelson, son of a bitch. Fucking Twinkies. That's all I can think. Anyways, that would mean that T-Mobile at some point in time is going to issue a statement that they're going to part ways with all their media assets, including any stock that they currently own in Viacom. And let's see, is there already any news that's been floating around or a rumor? Ooh, we're starting a rumor. T-Mobile.
Can we?
No, I don't think we're allowed to start a rumor.
Why not?
I don't know, dude. There's fucking rules to shit. What the hell is I have the worst time with T-Mobile. It's T-Mus. Wonder. Jeez.
That's weird.
Isn't that just a fucking weird one?
T-Mobile USA.
T-Mobile, I believe, is Jack Ma, right? He's gonna come out with all the robots, which is the other thing they gotta focus on. T-Mobile and Viacom, right?
Isn't that the guy that owns Dredgen Mobile too, though?
No, that's Richard Branson.
Hmm.
It's the crazy space guy. Let's see here. So
He and Elon Musk would probably be friends.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah. Oh, you mean Richard Branson? Yeah, I would. Sure, they're all billionaires. Why wouldn't they be? I'm sure they could get along.
Well, I mean, both have the fascination of space, so you know.
That's true. That's true. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think all three of those guys do. The Viacom CBS shares were trading higher amid Discovery and AT&T's Warner Media combining to create a new media company. Why? Why though? Why would they? Why would Viacom trade higher based off of that unless we are late and somebody else already has figured this shit out and they're just probably if I just Google this right now, I'd see that it's already all over the fucking news, figured out the right way. But I don't know how to Google it. How do you know? How do you Google it? Oh, I know how. To Benzema and go to that and you copy that and you go to this and you go to that and you paste it, that, and go to the article. Why wasn't there just a link to the article in here?
I mean, that's a good point.
The hell? This headline, probably because they push out like 5,000 articles a day, and so sometimes you forget to put a link in, but whatever. No excuse. This headline, only article is meant to show you why a stock is moving. Okay, whatever. Oh, it's just a headline. That's why. It's Luke, too! Luke knows! Fucking Luke. I'm gonna have to ask him. Alright, anyways, that's my Viacom 10 foil hat, and we narrowed it down. We landed on T-Mobile. It's T-Mobile and Viacom. So, they're next.
Did Sprint own any media sources when T-Mobile bought them?
Oh, that's a good question. That is a good question.
I mean, it wouldn't necessarily matter because it's all under T-Mobile now, but...
Yeah, but it does, because whoever it is, we know Viacom's one. We know T-Mobile's one. We know these two, Sprint following AT&T and Verizon into the media business, 2017. Looky here. Looky here. I don't know if I'm allowed to, like, pull up news websites. I don't know what the law is on that, and I don't want YouTube getting mad at me again like they did the other day because I said something. I don't know what I said, and YouTube said something back to me and was like, you can't say that because somebody else said it first.
You got in trouble.
Fucking somebody's got a patent on words, but so we're gonna put that in there. So Sprint, T-Mobile, Viacom, and we'll need to do a little bit more work to figure out who that is. I should call a Sprint store right now and ask them. The last time I called a T-Mobile store, called them.
You can't call a Sprint store, they're closed. They're all T-Mobile stores now.
Oh, well, I called a T-Mobile store a while back, or Sprint, and was like, what's up with Pepper the Robot, and when's it coming out? Because it was supposed to be released in their stores, and the person at the fucking store was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, let me talk to your manager, bitch. My name's Ken. I'm the male version of Karen. Is it Ken that's the male version of Karen?
I don't know. You're my news outlet. How would I know? I'm here for the news.
You're screwed.
I got popcorn. I'm enjoying the news.
Whoa.
I'm making fun of people.
May 16th. Viacom CBS dispute with Leslie Moonves is resolved. I don't know who these people are. Anyways.
Yeah.
I need to put a little note in here to do a little bit more research on that. and need to go back on REGI. That now, moving on. We're good on that, I think, right?
He was a media executive who was the chairman and the CEO of the CBS Corporation from 2003 until his resignation in September of 2018. Following numerous allegations of sexual harassment and sexual assault and abuse.
Dang. You know what he sounded like? His name Leslie Moonves, and all I could think of was Leslie from The Naked Gun. Leslie Nielsen, you know? Sorry, Leslie. Sorry, wrong. Not sorry to Leslie Moonves. Sorry to Leslie Nielsen, who's a great comedian.
Yeah. I know what you meant.
Is he dead? Do you know?
I
feel like everybody's dead now. I got old and everybody died.
I don't.
NBC dropped. The Golden Globes. Oh, still watch that. That happens. Anyways. All right, moving on. I don't know why this is on my list, so we're just going to take a quick peek at it. Why don't you tell the folks at home who the hell EJH is? Oh, that's why it's on my list. Yeah, this was a nice little, sweet little find today.
You hear me?
Yes.
He passed in 2010.
Oh. Wow. Much respect to Leslie Nielsen, one of the greats. Can't say shit about him. Other than he was fucking hilariously clumsy. Moving on.
Really helpful stuff. So EJH, let's take a look here. All right. There's a lot to read, guys. Lots to read. Just kidding.
Is there?
No, not really. eHome Household Services Holdings Ltd. is holding company which engages in the operation of household services. Its services include installation and maintenance of home appliances and housekeeping and senior care through an online app platform or call center. The company was founded in Wensha, Zai in September 24, 2018 and is headquartered in Fuzhou City, China. I probably got that wrong. It could be Fuzhou, but yeah. What are we looking at these guys for?
They just IPO'd.
Oh, okay.
Fucking 2 days ago. And I guess so. This was on a list. I caught this on Benzinga this morning or afternoon. Some shit. I don't know. But there was like 5 fucking companies that IPO'd and didn't say anything. They were just like, don't tell anybody, but we're going public today. Like, there's more.
I mean, is it to avoid, like, every time someone's announced that they're getting that IPO, it immediately drops a couple days after because they announced it. So, I mean, they're probably trying to be like, hey, let's try this reverse psychology, not tell anyone, and just skyrocket.
I think so. I think I think it's something like that. And I mean, look at that. 2 days, right? And not bad. I mean, not bad. It didn't sink to the floor. So, and I don't know. They're based out of China, really?
Based out of China.
All right. Well, we can look into it a little bit more if you want. But honestly, I saw it. I saw Household Services Holding and eHome, and I just thought, I'm all into recovery right now. So I didn't even look at it. I just shoved it aside, put a note, and was like, we'll talk about this, and I'll find out on the show. And now I found on the show, I guess, well, China's going through recovery too, right? Are they? China?
I mean, they should be. I mean, they had, well, I mean, I feel like they handled COVID a lot better than us, to be honest. But
I don't know.
I mean, it's probably based out of China because they can't have a company like this based out of the U.S. because it probably would be looked as like elderly abuse.
Oh my God, what do they do? I wasn't listening to you. They're beating up old people?
No. The term elder abuse does not mean that they're beating up old people.
Oh, they're taking care of people through an app.
They include the installation and maintenance of home appliances and providing assistance through an application or call center as well. So the reason that I specify elder abuse is simply because if you have something like this in the U.S., people in the U.S. are greedy. Not everyone is, but a lot of people are greedy. So their goal is to get money with the least amount of work. So there's going to be, potential elder abuse, meaning that they're taking advantage of an elderly individual without their knowledge or even with their knowledge. But because they don't want to say anything. That's why, it falls under elder abuse. But I can see there's probably a few companies like this here in the States as well. I don't like these types of companies. I prefer, to support like a local mom and pop store for the installation and maintenance of the home appliances, because you get that physical brick and mortar. You get someone you can actually build a trust with, compared to some type of app or online presence that you have no idea where the fuck they're coming from. So,
well, okay.
That's weird.
So this came about one of two ways, right? This is just, I would think. You would think this happened one of two ways. One, a couple guys sitting around drinking coffee or tea or whatever the hell you drink in China, sake, I don't know, right? You're just hanging out with your buddy, whatever. I'm sure they drink sake in China too. I'm sure they drink Boddingtons in China. Anyway, so they're like hanging out, they're, and they're like, yeah, you know what sucks? Old people can't install stoves or like dishwashers and shit. I'm a maintenance guy. Yeah, one of them was a maintenance man, and then the other one was like a programmer, and he was like, you know what? We code the shit out of this and send some people out and help these old people out and do a great service and make some money. That's one story. The other story is the guy's a maintenance man, and he installs it, and he's like, you know what? Old people don't know how to install stoves. You can charge whatever the hell you want, bro. Code me up a program, and we'll just rake them over the coals.
Angie's List. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, so it's right. This is the handyman Angie's List, right? And they don't need a license, probably. For a lot of different things in America, they wouldn't need a license because they're installing. Well, there are quite a few things you need a license to install, but there are also a lot of things that you don't need a license to install. And then you run it like Uber, probably. I mean, I can't find their damn website to really find out, but that's my guess.
Basically, yeah, it runs the bids off to the local people, and best one takes the cake, and you have to rely on them to have the license, not the actual company.
Or they don't even need a license because it's installing a
fridge.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
A fridge in or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Or window air conditioners, probably really big out there.
Plug and play.
I don't know what kind of licenses they need in China, and I guess it would depend on what part of China, just like it depends on what part of America. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is I originally looked at this because it was like a hidden IPO thing, and first thought was as I was looking at recovery stuff, and it was like, ooh, recovery, because I believe in the recovery. Okay? I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee today, or last weekend, or this week, whenever I was there. I went there, and I wasn't the only one. I thought I would be the only one because of COVID, and I thought I would be the only one because of the gas shortage. And I thought I'd be the only one because I got there on like a Wednesday, and I wasn't. There were people everywhere. They just crawling out of everywhere. And what, next weekend is Memorial Day weekend?
Already?
Yeah, I think so, right? I don't know when it is.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. You may get your news from me, but you're my calendar, bro. You got to tell me something here. I don't know what's happening. So, look, all I'm saying is this place was the entire trip. Nobody's wearing masks anymore, and that's for whatever reason. And now, granted, the part of the country that I'm in, but humans are like a virus, right? Everything we do spreads like a virus. Everything we do is just, it just bounces around and just replicates itself. And, oh man, I'm pretty damn sure we're about to go full blown swing into recovery. And this is what I think. I think there are a lot of people who never cared in the first damn place, and they did what they wanted anyways. And now that like recovery is coming into play, they're going to do more because they've been saying they're going to do more. And then in addition, you have people who haven't been doing shit who are going to do stuff. And so it's going to be more, and it's going to be more. People are just going to be doing shit all over the damn place. That's why I picked up some Marriott today.
So
all the hotels were filled.
I mean,
it didn't do well.
All right. I mean, that's a fair reason, but so I don't know. A couple things come to my mind in reference to this. I mean, one, have you guys seen the videos where people are after they got their second COVID vaccine, they are putting magnets on their arm and they're sticking?
What are you talking about? So are you telling me that it's high in iron?
So no. It started off as somebody was joking about how the government's chipping people with the COVID vaccines.
They've been talking about that. Yeah. Yes. And Bill Gates is doing it.
So basically, with this joke, somebody decided to go up to their friend who just got back from getting their second COVID vaccine, and the magnet stuck to his arm.
Oh my God.
So that video's been going around a lot. No, it could be bullshit, but it's funny. It's totally funny. It's hilarious. And it fits with our due diligence.
It's hilarious, except for the fact of these people freaking the hell out and being scared to death that their arm is, unless they're excited, they're going to be like Iron Man or something.
Yeah, the guy was like, "What the fuck?" And then he grabbed the magnet and he put it back and it stayed. It was just, but it's
okay.
The idea of moving into recovery is possible.
Let's get something out of the way.
There's too much conspiracy, and there's still new strains of COVID that are coming out. There's states that are starting to have more issues with COVID again and starting to have to add back to having those restrictions compared to other states that are lifting those restrictions. Those other states that are lifting those restrictions that could be, for instance, bordering the state that's still having issues and new issues with the new ones, the new strain of COVID can easily spread because they're already lifting. Rather than waiting until every fucking state is safe, people don't care.
No, they didn't care
and it's coming to summer. And it's coming to summer with people being locked up for a year.
Over a year.
But they don't want it. They don't want to wait. They want to take that risk. They're like, shit, I got my vaccine. I'm going out. And you know the problem is with vaccines and any type of virus is that things mutate. You look at the flu vaccine. There's a new one every year, and sometimes the CDC fucks up and they have to recall because they got the mutation incorrect. And then people have to re-get it.
Or we get a super flu.
Or we get a super flu, like, swine flu a few years back. But the thing with it, though, is that typically everyone that gets these vaccines typically end up sick for a couple of days because they are basically injecting them with that strength. Now, obviously, it's diluted, but it helps your body build an immune system. It helps you prevent it. So is there recovery? Yes, there could be. How long will it last for? I don't know, because I still expect for us to have another hard hit of COVID. And that's pure speculation based off of how stupid people are. And if you don't think people are stupid, look at the gas shortage and the people that are selling gas in Ziploc bags.
Yes.
Collecting gas in, like fucking wheelbarrows and rusted containers. And it's just like, you people are dumb. And this is the problem.
It's scary dumb.
That the U.S. has. It is a scary dumb. And this is the problem that the U.S. has because the U.S. absolutely could flourish and be done with this already months in the past if everyone followed guidelines and did things correctly. And the fact that we don't, yes, I can see recovery, but I can see that recovery being short-lived.
Recovery's here. Recovery's here, and it can't be stopped. Let's get something out of the way real quick that I gotta get this off my chest. Okay?
Get it.
Get this off my chest. Government is not putting a microchip inside of a vaccine and vaccinating people.
They could be.
No.
You don't know.
This is how I know.
You got the vaccine?
I'm going to end this once and for all. That's my own personal business.
Put the magnet to your arm, buddy.
I have not gotten the vaccine. Okay, this is how I know. This is how I know. Okay. The government has the power to microchip your ass by force. Many different ways. many, many different ways. Not by getting you to volunteer to go into a CVS and take a shot. First off, they don't need to vaccinate your ass because you got a phone. Now, if you don't have a phone, let's say there are 350 million Americans, right? Currently walking around. Okay, this phone can track me even while turned off within 3 feet.
I don't think enough Americans exercise for that number to be accurate, but sure.
Out of that 350 million Americans, out of the people who are age, I don't know, Google it. How many Americans have cell phones? Google that.
Well, the United States has around 328.2 million people as of 2019. Okay. And if we're looking at cell phones, estimated 294.15 million. And that was estimated as of actually earlier this year. So that's pretty damn close. There's still roughly 30 million people as an example.
They're fucking children.
They could be children, they could be elderly, they could be living off the grid. Okay. But then again, if they live off the grid, they wouldn't have been counted anyways because...
Let's stop there. Let's stop with the live off the grid. So for a moment, let's consider, because this is going to be the anti-argument to my argument is, well, what if I'm off the grid and I don't have a cell phone and they're not tracking me? Okay, look. Out of 348 million or however many it is that we have Americans and 250 or whatever it is that have cell phones, however many, let's say, few million people are the, oh, hell no, the government's not tracking me. I keep a burner. They can track you with that too, but whatever. They're like, I don't have a cell phone. I'm off the grid, baby. I'm in the deserts of Nevada or whatever the hell your damage is, right? Doing peyote, right? You're not getting a damn vaccine anyways. So they're not going to be able to track you. It's a voluntary vaccine. And they don't care if you're moving around. They don't care about you. They don't care about that damn person. And all the people who think that the government is putting a fucking microchip inside that damn vaccine and fucking tracking them are posting about it on their fucking cell phones. That's how stupid we are.
So you got to look at it this way too. Like you got to look at it like throw that aluminum foil on there for a second. So yes, those that are in that mindset know they can be tracked from a cell phone.
They are being tracked.
However, they've accepted that.
Yeah. But they haven't accepted the vaccine.
They haven't accepted the microchip.
And they're not going to.
Because they feel as if it violates their rights. Well, I'm sorry, our rights have been violated for years.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no getting around that. But it's just funny videos to see people just like putting a magnet onto their fucking arm after getting their second shot and it not falling off. And you're just like, the fuck? And I'll be upfront. For instance, I haven't gotten the vaccine yet, and the reason being is because anytime they come out with any of these types of vaccines, I wait for shit to work. I don't go outside anyways. I still wear a mask because I don't trust people.
I'm a first adopter, but not in medicine.
Not in medicine, not at all. There's too many unknowns.
I'm a second and third adopter in medicine.
Yeah, I mean, look at what happened with Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah. And even then, look, I think I mentioned this before. I had a mask on before anybody else, at least in my town, I think. I'm sure there were some other people before me. But I was one of the guys walking around in an awkward position. And it was a lot for the reason in the beginning. The number one main reason in the beginning. This is, I don't care what anybody says on this. I don't care what the percentages are and all this shit. Bottom fucking line, COVID kills more people than the flu. Period. Not only that, a disease, an epidemic occurred in the world, a worldwide pandemic occurred that killed a lot of fucking people.
And it's still killing a lot of people. India still hasn't been able to get anywhere near recovery or having a lid on it. And And like I mentioned, I mean, this sounds totally bad, and I'm not meaning this in a bad way, but if you go back the past 300 years, I mean, like, let me pull this up here. Hold on. What do I want to look at? Pull up some actual dates here. So there it is. So, let's see, what was it? Was it the plague that happened in 1818? And then there was the, what was the pandemic in 1918?
Oh my God, they talked about it so much. Can't believe I forgot.
Yeah, H1N1.
That was almost. That was almost really bad in the U.S.
675,000 deaths in 1918 from H1N1.
Jeez, that's a lot of deaths. Worldwide, though, right?
No, that's estimated U.S. deaths.
Oh shit, that's a lot of fucking deaths, man.
Yeah.
You know.
An H1N1 pandemic that happened in 2009, there was only estimated 12,500. Now, if you're looking at, you know, it was the H1N1 influenza. That's what it was, the influenza pandemic, and it was carried around because of crowds.
What did you say? Crabs?
Crowds.
Oh, gotcha.
Crowds of people. And the same thing happened in 1818 in reference to, you know, the 1820s. Like it's legit on a 100-year cycle where the Black Death, the plague, went through England. And it's legit 100 years apart, and the shitty thing to think about is that it is either A, men related, which at those times technology more than likely not, or B, what's that movie with
The Mummy?
No, with Mark Wahlberg. Is it The Happening?
Oh no, I wasn't thinking of that movie at all. I was thinking of the movie he's a cop.
No.
Where's the all white and he shoots the guy in
the plants are what is actually dispelling the virus that is causing people to die and like kill each other, because the planet is what's actually doing the population control.
You know, we have things like that. Like we're about to experience a 17-year cicada run, I guess. And like, I guess there's a bunch of them, but like billions of these fucking crickets or fucking cicadas are about to like, what's the thing called? Oh my God, there's a word for it. A plague. They call it a plague. The plague, the crickets or whatever. It's in the Bible.
Locusts?
Like, the locusts, yes. A locust. They're basically like a locust, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, we have shit like that happens. We also have other weird things that happen, like the ice caps are melting, and it's possible a disease can be trapped in there. It's also.
I want to confirm real quick as well, though, the H1N1 influenza issue back in 1918 had more deaths than COVID. COVID right now estimated in the U.S. is around 586,000. That's still astronomical.
No, this does not sound accurate.
I think it's based off of, there was 62,679 in California. There was 51,105 in Texas, 36,074 in Florida, 52,417 in New York, 24,795 in Illinois. There was 33 million cases and 586,000 deaths is what it's saying. Now, let's see if this COVID-19 deaths. I think this is worldwide, because I definitely don't think this is
3.4 million or something.
No, this is under 1 million. Oh, this is based on the projection, the current projection scenario by September 1st of 2021 on the CDC's website. That's not a good number.
3.4 million deaths worldwide.
Okay, so daily deaths, projection, worse, mass, no, I don't. Anyways, it's bad shit.
Here's the thing with it. It's bad, and a lot of people died. Is it worse? Is it better? Yeah. Is it this? This is what matters, right? They make us wear fucking seatbelts because they're afraid that we're going to go flying through a window. They make us do this. They make us do that. All this different damn shit. Nobody should be surprised that, you know, there's a possibility to save some people's fucking lives, and people were interested in doing it. When this first broke out, my first thing was, look, people, I guess I was technically susceptible to, but elderly people, right, were like the most susceptible to this. And people with like immune deficiencies and shit like that. And I don't want to go too far into all this nonsense, but the bottom line is that during this period of time, steps were taken by a huge portion of the population to contain something that was spread through people by like interaction in crowds. And a huge portion of the population was like, fuck you. It's not real. And then it was, fuck you, it's this. And then it was that. It was all this different shit. And that's the same thing with the vaccine is they're putting a microchip in it. Okay, well, there's no microchip. Oh, well, it's magnetic. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing. That's what happens. So normally when if somebody doesn't want to do something, they make an excuse. An excuse typically has 3 to 5 bullshit excuses. One's the truth. And the one that's the truth, nobody isn't the one you stand on. You don't stand on the excuse that's the truth because is like, you know it, that if you say it to somebody else, you're going to say, you asked me to help you move. You're like, hey, can you help me move tomorrow? And the truth is, the immediate gut reaction truth is fuck no, man. I want to play Apex Legends tomorrow, right? But I can't tell you that because if I tell you that, I'm a douche. I'm a douchebag. And I don't like you, and you don't like me, and you'll never help me in the future if I need to move. And so I lose leverage and all this stuff. So what I do is I begin to lie, and I make excuses, or I conjure up magical things like, well, something could happen tomorrow, so I can't because I'm waiting on a package delivery that may be here between X and X, or I may have to wait because my wife was thinking of maybe spontaneously combusting and she would need a ride to the hospital if this occurred. You know what I mean? Like you can listen to a person when they talk, and you can listen to their 3 to 4 excuses, and you can pinpoint the bullshit, and you could weed through the bullshit, and you'll land on the one.
It's going to depend because
but there's one.
As I mentioned, if you are confident.
There's one. You know what it is?
What's that?
And here's the one. The majority of these people do not want their lives to be affected negatively for anything, for anyone else. It's been this way since before this. It started right before Obama became president. The me first fucking attitude occurred in America. It became, and maybe it's always been this way, but it became hard. Right at the end, it was after 9/11. That's when it happened. Like everyone was cool. 9/11 happened, and America was like, "We're all on the same damn team." Yes. And then a little while after that, we were like, "That's my fucking parking spot, and I will crash right into you to get it first. I will
crush you."
And then it ended with where we're at today, which is, "Oh, I may have a virus that'll get you sick. Guess what, bitch? It ain't real." Anyways, bottom line is where we're at today. And because that's what, remember, a lot of people were like, it's not real for months. For months, people swore it was not happening. Like, this isn't happening. This is, it's not. What the fuck? Anyways, bottom line is this. The recovery is coming into effect. It's happening. It cannot, there's a combination of things that are occurring right now. And unless like a huge death toll comes through, and I think even then, it would have to be huge. It'd have to be worse than we've seen. It'd have to be majorly worse than what we've seen. It won't continue because you're going to have people that are going to, there's like a lack of I don't know, just like logic, common sense. I don't know what the word is. It's weird because a lot of the people who are like exhibiting displays of lack of common sense are the ones who for my entire life told me, hey, don't you have common sense? Like they're the ones that use that term. But there's this thing happening right now, and it won't be stopped. It won't be stopped by Republicans. It won't be stopped by Democrats. It won't be stopped by politicians. It will not be stopped by anyone. And I know this is happening. It's too late. Recovery's in play, and we're going to see like this huge sell-off. And in addition to that, we have another problem that's occurred. We're going to experience a huge shortage that's going to happen because
corn.
And corn, yes, corn and oil and anything that we reduced our production of, which is everything just about that isn't when you stay home, that we're going to see a reduction and a shortage on. And in addition to that, it's going to play in at the exact same time that we're having inflation. And so we won't recognize it. It'll be right now it's being recognized as inflation or just random shortages from whatever the fuck. And then later, tinfoil hat, it'll be recognized as a shortage from COVID production instead of being inflation, when it's really a combination of all of them. And bottom line is this. The hotels were fucking packed. And it wasn't just in the vacation resort town that I went to. It was everywhere I went along the trip. And it wasn't just this, because before we went here, I contacted 3 different states for other possible places that I was going to go to and checked prices on Airbnb and different things. And they were all packed.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I'm not saying that recovery is not going to happen.
It's happening
right
now.
It is, absolutely. I just don't know how long it will last based off of the what if.
No, it's over. It's happening right now. People are still going to die. People are still going to get sick. But the majority of
People
elderly.
don't care.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Less people are going to die now. I was never. I mean, people being sick does suck, and that kind of is bad. But I was never as much concerned with people being sick as I was with people dying. Like, preventable death was kind of like, come on, can we not fucking just wait in line a little bit longer to prevent some people from dying? Can we not stay home for a little bit? You know what I mean? Like, that seems like something we could all do, you know? Like, you know, like when you get up in the bus, or like you give a parking spot to a handicapped person or a pregnant woman, or you hold up a door for somebody who's like carrying a bunch of shit. It doesn't have to always be a woman. I hate that when you open up a door for a woman, they're like, oh, you don't think I can open a door? No, I didn't think you can open up a door. I thought you were incapable.
Being polite. I mean,
you're not allowed to be polite anymore, right? And not only you're not allowed to be polite, that a bunch of people intentionally are not polite, but now they will be. Now we're all going to be friends. We're all going to talk to each other. We're in recovery mode. Everyone's going to go out and party, and a lot of people are going to get fucking sick. But less people are going to die because the majority of the vulnerable people who have already been vaccinated. And so unless it's from mutations of the disease, those vaccinations have been tested to hold up by a certain percentage. That's why they were released, and we will see a reduction in the death count, which is fucking awesome, right?
No,
everybody should be happy about that, including the people who think that Bill Gates is putting a microchip inside the vaccine. Like, they should be happy too. I would think, maybe, I think, and if not, then fuck them. They're just rude. You know, I don't even like it when assholes die. You know, like, I'm just saying, like, give them a chance to turn around and not be assholes anymore.
Fair enough.
But with that being said, Marriott.
Marriott indeed. Now, you said, though, it didn't do as well as you hoped, though.
Well, keep in mind when I'm saying this, all the stuff that I got today, I dropped, I don't know, I think 0.5% or something like that overall for the day. Less than 0.5%. Well, I don't know, after hours. So after hours. Yeah, less than 0.5%. And I just got into everything, and I probably shouldn't have got in pre-market. I probably should have been selling in pre-market and got in at the end of the day. I'm still actually extremely confident in all of my picks. I'm not selling anything at a loss. I'm good with everything that I got. I'm good with Marriott. I don't think that we're going to see this. I think that a lot of the stuff that I got, especially when it comes to recovery, we won't see the larger spikes until the days running up to Memorial Day and the days running afterward, because that's when everyone's going to see it. When is Memorial Day? Oh my God, it's next weekend,
Monday,
right?
May 31st.
We got a few days.
So like a week and a half.
So a week and a half from now, coming up to that, you're gonna see people going like, oh, people are going out and partying, because they were doing it during the damn pandemic, and now people who weren't doing it are doing it as well, and they're doing it more, and we'll see more of it, and then after it, we'll see it. And I'm not waiting until Marriott hits earnings again, but look at this, their last earnings, 172%. I mean, they're already beating their estimates.
I mean, I see as part of the list, since we're on Marriott right now, is the Airbnb, which I pulled that one up to look at as well, and they're hurting.
Well, now Airbnb is a little bit different. Airbnb and
you have to
Uber,
trust the person's house that you're going into, that it's not impacted.
I love Airbnb. Now, granted, sometimes I will use Airbnb to find the person, or through whatever original service they went through, like if it's a property management company, and book directly through them. But I like Airbnb because I know that they're following like a basic set of rules. So Airbnb is tough. You know what I mean? It's not your average thing. They did not hit earnings at all. And they didn't hit it there. And they're young and they're new. And I don't think they're getting.
I wouldn't say new.
Well, I mean, when it comes to this stock, so it's a newer stock, but it looks like it IPO'd in December 2020 is when it IPO'd, so it hasn't been publicly traded very long. And for a publicly traded company, it took that dive, right, for a few days, but then it went right back up. And then it got back to where it opened, and it went back up, and it stayed up, and it's just now crossed where it IPO'd just now. And it's still not profitable, it looks like, or at least it's not. So it's not profitable yet. But with recovery coming in, a lot more people beginning to use, because that's the other thing, right? Like I prefer to use Airbnb when COVID was going on.
Sure.
Less traffic going through. I don't want a hotel that's got a different person staying in it every single day, and a hotel staff that is not cleaning the place up, because the Marriott, which I got some today, is a good one, but maybe, I don't know, the Red Roof Inn or some nonsense. I don't want to beat up on them because there's only like 5 of those left in the country, and I love their icon. The Quality Inn, right? Their housekeeping staff, the Super 8, may not be as concerned.
We'll put the light on for you.
Right. The Motel 6.
UV light, so you can see everything that's disgusting.
Oh my God, please don't. But they're probably less likely to clean up as well as Jack and Diane, who run a little Airbnb in Maine. Because Jack and Diane don't want that on their conscience. Now, they got this property. They plan on Airbnb in it, or renting it out and making some, having it be an income, vehicle for them. But at the same time, they don't want somebody dying on them, and they want to keep it clean, and they don't want bad reviews. They have one property, or maybe 5 properties. Motel 6 has like at least 9, right? You know what I mean?
I assume more than that, but yeah.
And they don't care about one bad review here and there. I'm sure Motel 6's reviews is not a 5-star on Google. Whereas Jack and Diane's little Airbnb that has a foosball table in Maine, that also gives you a brochure on where to go find fresh lobster, is probably got 5 stars. Or at least
1,400 locations in North America for Motel 6.
Jeez. Yeah, they don't care. You think they're cleaning those rooms and keeping you safe? Hell no. Now, is the Marriott more likely than Motel 6?
Let's hope so. I mean, well, they have to keep up with, their look. I mean, that right there speaks volumes in reference to, how well they clean. Like, yes, they're going to be thorough because, one, they want the business. They have reoccurring people that trust in them for the business. So, I mean, branding has a lot to say in reference to what you're going to experience when you go to the company.
So Airbnb, I think, it's on the list because of recovery.
Interrupt you. 3.3 out of 5 stars for Motel 6 on Google. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
They're at the threshold where they don't care anymore. There's someone who they've paid to care, who cares, but all in all is the company, they probably don't care. And a lot of the people in the company probably still don't know what the internet is. Not saying anything bad about the people who are working behind the desk. I'm talking about the people probably in the C-level suite who's like, hey, can you get this phone? Where's the button where I accept the cookies? You know, like me. Now Airbnb, they have something going for them. So if recovery goes with Airbnb, right? There's a lot of properties right now, I think, that are not being Airbnb'd out.
I mean,
because of COVID.
Yeah, but yes and no. I mean, I don't know. Like up in my area, for instance, it's so crazy right now with the housing that real estate agents have been going door to door asking people to sell their house because of how much more of a profit they can make right now. Because in our area,
that's a sign of a bubble.
Our area specifically, it's ridiculous. I mean, you used to be able to get
mic off
a house for, quite a decent amount of money. I mean, in my area, you're specifically looking like maybe 220,000, and sometimes you can find, a used home, not new, that was bigger for around that same cost. Now, if you want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, you're looking at close to $400,000. It's that much of a difference, and yeah, everyone is going everywhere in reference to these real estate agents, just trying to, I guess, pinch as much money out of it as possible because of how much they lost during COVID. I mean, realistically, everyone was impacted. So now that they have this opportunity to sell, but not only sell, but to make a hell of a profit for the actual homeowner that's selling, but also themselves because of the commission they're going to get, it makes the most sense in reference to, why not? The problem is, though, is that as they're going to these people door to door and selling, the housing market in your local area becomes more and more out of reach in reference to the normal cost of living. Just because, as an example, I live in the state of Idaho. The state of Idaho hasn't changed their minimum wage since 2009. The minimum wage in the state of Idaho is like $7.50, $7.25 an hour. And if you have a minimum wage job, you're never going to be able to afford a house. And some of the jobs here locally, if you have a master's degree, they're paying you around $15, $16 an hour. And I'm just kind of like laughing at it like, yeah, I'm good with what I got. But it's just, it's crazy, the difference that you see in reference to that. And then that goes into like the Airbnb, Airbnb not being used, but with all of these houses, selling, people are not investing in them from other locations as a rental property. They then could be investing in them as a vacation property, which is where the Airbnb would definitely come into more play, because you could start seeing more listings on Airbnb because there potentially will be more houses and duplexes and apartments and condos that people are buying in these specific areas where that housing market is booming, because they immediately are thinking, hey, I want to get rich quick, and this is the way to go with Airbnb. So it's definitely not the end of Airbnb. I can say that much.
Well, I missed most of what you said, but analyst ratings came out on the 14th on Airbnb, and multiple. So I'm just going to run through them real quick. Needham dropped theirs from 210 down to 194. It's at 133 right now. So within the next 12 months, they're assuming it's going to be at 194, right? Wells Fargo, 200, right? Truist Securities goes from 180 down to 160. B of A Securities from 190 to 180. Wedbush is looks like maybe the lowest here. No, not the lowest. 175 to 150. All of this on the 14th. All of this on the exact same day. This is Credit Suisse from 162 up to 164. Wow, nice. We got Baird.
I mean, hey, they went up though. They had faith.
By $2. 210 down to 200. And Mizuho from 176 to 165, and the lowest would be Barclays from 180 down to 140. Now, they're the lowest, and I'd just like to point this out. Airbnb currently sits at 133. The lowest rating was dropped substantially, is still higher than the current point. So everyone agrees it's going up in the next year, if not for any other reason other than probably summer, recovery. I think what you were talking about was an excess amount of inventory of vacation rental homes that people are building and own. In addition to that, I think you also have consumer confidence in the idea of Airbnb, because at first, I think still up to this point, I think is where it changes. I think this is the point where the average American hears Airbnb and goes, okay, that's safe. I can do that. And everything up to that before then is like, oh my God, are they videoing me while I'm in the shower, or this is going to be a whole The Shining Jack Nicholson thing and an axe murder is going to come get me? Like, there's going to be a lot less of that. You may hear something about it here and there because of how many people are using it and how often it's being talked about. But the other problem with Airbnb is what recently happened, I think the last 2 years is when it really started, was there. So you have your regular hotel chains, right? And then you have your hotel brokers like Booking and Priceline and companies like that. And then you had Airbnb and Vrbo, and I'm sure there's some others, mainly just property management companies. But those are the two main, like Airbnb and Vrbo. And now Booking and Priceline and all these other companies, Expedia, they're now offering the same service as Airbnb is offering, where you can list your vacation home on their site. And so now I can book an Airbnb spot through Expedia. Maybe not Expedia, but definitely through Booking.
I'm amazed Expedia is still operational after all the flight issues with COVID. But,
There's been, I mean, hotels still get used, you know what I mean? And these things, the Airbnb type style of rental, I think that it's gonna continue to climb. The usage, I don't know about the stock. I did not get involved in Airbnb. I am not confident in the chart currently. I am not confident enough to make an entry. I am interested in it, and it is a sign of recovery. And so I might in the future. I've been trying to watch it for quite some time because there's some other aspects of Airbnb that we're not talking about, and that is the data. I think the data from Airbnb usage and the consumers on their website is eventually going to be a pretty valuable commodity in itself, but not yet. That's what I got on Airbnb.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, I could even see them, throwing off ad spots for Expedia, especially if they're starting to use the same things. Like, hey, feel free to pay us, and we'll advertise your site as well on ours.
Yeah, that's possible.
But yeah, I mean, Airbnb housing, it's all effective and horrible.
It's all part of recovery.
Moving on to the next topic. Looks like we're looking at Six Flags. Is that it?
Six Flags. Okay, so a couple things on this real quick. Let's see. So they beat earnings on the last one, and they didn't on that one, and they didn't on that one. And what was going on before COVID with them? Take a quick peek. They were falling. So before COVID, they were not doing well. This thing was trending down since basically 2018. Definitely 2018. And before then, they were doing pretty good. Yeah, since...
You keep running this. I'll be right back.
Yep. So since the beginning, you could say, they were doing great. Maybe all the way up to, 2018. And then they begin to fall. So we're talking 2 years before COVID. they were already starting to decline. And so that always scares me with the company. But like I said, I went on a trip. I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Through there, we went through a place called Pigeon Forge. If you've never looked at it, man, it's amazing. This place was so busy, and all the stuff that was going on there was just insane. I can't even. It was not like dead at all. And there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and a lot of good reason to, like, you know, look at this. Like there's the Titanic right there. This whole, oh man, I'm way off the. Can I get on the road here? There. There's like a building that's sideways, and Pigeon Forge has this weird stuff. The Civil War Theater, just every single thing. When is this? What's the date on the? It's 2019. So this is March 2019, which is before COVID, right? COVID was 2020, I think. And okay, you got a winery, you got all this stuff going on. The whole place is crazy. Weird stuff, and then I hope that drops on the right spot there. Nope, of course not. Flapjacks. I don't know what this Flapjacks place is. We didn't go, but there's like 75 of them. There's more Flapjacks in this area, which is like this breakfast location, than there are Starbucks in any other town in America, which is a very odd thing, I would say. But it's just, I don't even know what the right road is. But I'm telling you, this place is just filled with like go-karts and mini golf courses, and I'm dropping the pin on all the wrong locations. You're just gonna have to believe me. Oh my god, what's going on? There's so much fog in this picture, you can't even see anything. Bad Google. Point is, this place was super busy. All the coasters, everything. There was rides, everybody was on all the rides. There was no doubt in my mind that this place was happening and that recovery was going on. And so Six Flags is a theme park place and should be experiencing very similar Six Flags. Let's just see if we can pull a map of the United States, maybe. Yeah, so Georgia, St. Louis, here we go. So look at me, I'm in Kentucky. What do we got there? Is that Missouri or whatever it is? Yep. And then that's in Illinois, or is it Wisconsin? It's Illinois. Texas. Texas is like whatever. I don't know 100% about the California situation, but I do know in Florida, Disney is basically telling you right now that you can get away with not having a mask if you're vaccinated, unless you're on certain rides. But if you're out walking about, they're like, fine, no more masks. Maine, England. So we were talking about that earlier. New Jersey. That's Pennsylvania, it looks like, maybe. Looks like a lot of these areas, you're going to get that kind of idea anyway, right? So I got a feeling that Six Flags is going to see a similar result that Gatlinburg did. And then on top of that, honestly, the main reason why is I was already looking at recovery. I pretty much already got everything. I had, pretty much already invested in everything I could be invested in today after getting back. And then I heard Jason Raznick on Benzinga on their live stream. They had asked Week Thing. They were like, what stock do you think is going to be the number one stock increase the most this week? And, he said 6. And I mean, look, the guy's right sometimes, he's wrong sometimes, but overall I think he's right most of the time. And the last few times he has been like, I am confident in this, and I didn't listen, I missed out. And this fits with what I was already looking at. So it was a no-brainer for me. So I jumped in. I'm probably going to get rid of some of the stuff that I'm not as confident in. Once it makes a small dent, shows some profit, and I'll probably get some more of this, because I think we'll see the same thing on this as Marriott, is that Memorial Day weekend. It's not that they're going to be so busy Memorial Day weekend that it's going to make their entire year. It's that the news is going to cover it because it's going to be people on roller coasters without masks on. Ooh, because you would expect them to be. Can you imagine? Like, what do you want? It's like when you go to a restaurant. You want me to wear a mask in line, but then when I go sit at my table, if I'm sitting at my table and I'm not wearing a mask, you
That's why
better
they
have the
got to
other
give you
table
those
6 feet away.
complimentary muff guards. Yeah, so it just flip down, plastic, and then you just.
You eat under the thing?
Yeah.
That's actually really smart. Why the hell weren't you involved in the nonsense before all this happened? So we also have the cross here.
I'm sane.
Nice.
Yeah. There's that.
So what do you think? You ever been to Six Flags?
Nope. I don't like people.
I don't like people either. I don't like. I also got in Disney, and I don't like Disney. I went to Disneyland, and I couldn't stand it.
Wouldn't do it.
I got a feeling though that there's a good chance Disney's gonna jump up
a little
bit.
We got an amusement park up here, Silverwood, and it's funny because the steam locomotive that they use up here, the owner outbid Disney for it.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, well, the owner is the guy that created Norton Antivirus, so I mean he's got plenty of money.
Not Disney money.
No, not Disney money.
Nobody's
definitely got money. And like on occasion, obviously pre-COVID, would take the kiddo there, and
Caesars.
There's just too many people. Caesars Entertainment.
Yeah, and it looks like he went with
casino here or something.
He's looking at Caesars and he's looking at Wynn. I'm looking at Marriott and he's looking at Wynn. So now I have to revisit. I looked at Wynn and I don't know. I didn't see it, but I'm telling you, this guy seems to be on point. And I don't know. I mean, Marriott looked really good. But okay, so here's another question. Where's COVID at? There it is. So what was it doing before COVID? It was, what the hell happened in 2018 to Wynn Resorts? I'll tell you what, this is Wyndham, right? I don't even like Wyndham, honestly. However, as much as I don't like Wyndham, a lot of their facilities are great, so I still stay there, even though I told.
What the hell happened after you've already invested?
Yeah, right. This is worse than COVID. It's just not as fast, but I mean, it's a horrible. February 20th. Yep, there we go. Okay. I mean, no, it's about the same, I guess. Really, it just took longer to get there. That's brutal, though. What happened? I don't know.
2018.
2018. In fact, I can peg time. Looks like it started on the 31st of May or the 1st of June. Oh, wait a minute. Is it the same for Caesar? Remember the shooting in Vegas?
Oh, during wasn't it a Jason Aldean concert?
I think so. He has a new song out. I don't know. It didn't affect Caesars, though. Wasn't it at Caesars? Maybe it wasn't. Who knows? I'm spreading fake news! Fake news! Fake news. I don't know, but Caesars...
That was 2017.
And when I'm going to have to revisit and look at this. But I'm very concerned about whatever the hell that was. But this just goes to show.
Yeah, the Jason Aldean, that was August 2018. Or no, those are people recalls. So let's see. It's 2017 is when it happened. So that didn't impact.
Wasn't that then?
Wasn't that?
Let's see if we can find out here. Trusty Benzinga News. Where are we going? 2018?
18?
May? June 1st, 2018? Or May 31st? Oh my god, so much news. I should have really filtered this Might have been a smart move, but too late. Okay, we're almost there. And we're in May. Where you at, May? Where you at? Oh, there it is, June 1st. Okay. All right, so there was no news until, 31st. Nevada Gaming Control Board reports April gaming win for Vegas Strip, 5%. Okay. And then June 1st comes around. Macau's Gaming Inspection Coordination Bureau earlier reported May gross gaming sales up.
Yeah, but it shows win shares down as well in that same statement. Yeah. But it doesn't specify as to like why Las Vegas Sands shares down, MGM shares up, Medico shares down.
Bushbank maintained a buy target at 215. What's it at right now? 124.
Who missed it?
Oh man, were they maybe? Probably went up. Deutsche Bank maintained for WIN, WYNN. They issued a price target for 215, so they lowered theirs from 219. Missed the mark in May. Casinos dipped lower. Stocks lower. Throughout the month of May, total gambling revenue 12.1% from a year ago, 25 billion. Okay, so gambling went down, but still, Win is. I mean, if they're Wyndham, they're all over. They're not just in Vegas. They're all over the damn place. They're heavy in Florida, and I don't know.
You might have been better off with the Radisson.
Yeah, right. But so here's the thing on it, is this just goes to show that even something that, because we could have been looking at this point and been like, oh, Win is fine. Why would there be a problem? And there's no huge, this is before the pandemic, and then just something happens. And I feel like there's not enough on that. I feel like, where's the, oh my God, why did this fall? Like this should be, somebody should be saying that. Because it's a huge drop. It's as much as COVID affected the company, which is a lot. This thing went from 195 and to 92. It lost over half. And oh geez, and in the fall, from summer to the fall, to the heat of summer, basically. Earnings were down, up, and then earnings were down, but it was already sliding. Then earnings were up and it started to climb. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm more interested in the Marriott, so I'll be following that because I already got in. So hopefully it doesn't do what this company did.
You didn't do your due diligence.
No, hell no. What? Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense. That's what this show is for. I do my due diligence after I make my entries on the show, and then I reevaluate afterward and tighten everything up. So, next on the list is, are we done with Marriott or Airbnb?
We are done with Airbnb. We are definitely moving to Ford.
All right, you want to tell us who Ford is? Or you want to just give us... If you
don't know who Ford is, then you got a problem.
Ford is actually one of my favorite companies of all time. Now, I'm a big GM fan. Obviously, I've said it a couple of times. But I like Ford. I like the story of a company that paid its workers enough money to become a customer.
I mean, valid.
What a great idea. You know what I mean?
I mean,
he's like, whatever.
They're definitely promoting, to get the money back. I mean,
yeah. It's so smart. You know what I mean? He's like, who's going to buy our trucks? We'll just pay our guys a little bit more, and then they'll buy the truck. And as long as it's anything over cost, he's profitable, right? And it's advertising because they're on the roads. Like, I'm not saying that's why he did it, but I don't know.
Very well could be. I
mean,
him. But compared to we discussed Ford, I think 3 weeks ago, roughly, maybe a little bit more. They took a loss right after the earnings.
Did they?
And that was because the fire.
Oh yeah. That was going to stall their production.
Correct. Now it's on the rise, as I've been informed, thanks to, of course, our What's the DD1, Jerry over here, is that they have an electric Ford F-150 coming out. Do we have pictures of this?
I thought it was because they put the fire out.
I mean, it could be.
The fire's out. Stock's back up. Let's see. Does Ford have a YouTube channel? Maybe that's a better way to do it. Let's take a look. So Ford Motor Co. Go. Okay. And here, live in 2 days. So do we get anything? Oh, that's what I saw. I saw their Bronco. Was it the Bronco that I saw when I was out? And I liked it. It looked pretty good. So watch this.
Is it
the importance of speed, hard work,
remake attempt?
We built a future for each of them. We electrified the Mustang and engineered it to get from 0 to 60
that?
in
However,
4 seconds.
you see the that blue Mustang that was in the preview? That's being advertised as a family-friendly Mustang.
As an off-roading, high-performance wild animal.
Sure.
This is the future.
And it's brilliant for them to finally start advertising the Mustang as still a coupe and two-door, but it's brilliant for them to advertise it as a family vehicle.
Because it's safe.
I mean, I guess. I mean, in my opinion, it's only 2 doors. So I mean, how the hell can they advertise it? But you know,
family of 2.
Think about hybrid. They're not thinking durable.
There you go.
They're not thinking F-150.
As they said, huh?
We're about to
They got it all covered up.
They got it covered up so you can't see it. Because it's going to look just like that, but with fancier lights and colors.
And it's going to say lightning.
So for the Power Boost hybrid to be called an F-150, it has to be built Ford tough.
Ooh, Ford tough.
Means it
a lot of people would argue with that.
All the same paces and all the torturous tests that all F-150s do.
I think it's a huge win. I mean, I don't care about the Ford versus Chevy argument. I never have.
Borrego Springs is where we go.
I would get it. I'm not interested in it. I want to see the electric Jeep. I like the Hummer. I think the Hummer's amazing.
The H3.
Yeah.
Just
really
the
like
crab walk feature alone is
so cool.
Neat. It's so neat.
And what I really want to see is the Land Rover Discovery electric. That's what I want to see. Is that out? Are they doing? Look at that! Ooh, look at that! You know, because every tradesman needs a truck that can get up the side of the mountain. You know what I mean? For that weekend getaway where you go to get, because you're going to get landscaping rocks. They're up there. That you can't get in other areas.
Yeah. It's for
work.
It's for BLC, you know.
Yeah, I need it. I need it for work. What's he carrying in the back of that? Lemonade? Or is that pesticide?
No, they're preparing for the gas shortage.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. What date is this? They knew. They already knew about this shit. I don't like that it's all covered up with this nonsense. Like, what? Hold on.
Mic off.
You know what's funny, though, guys, is that even with it being all covered up, the camera angles that they keep showing at the bottom, when we're looking at the suspension and wheel rods, like everything, oh, excuse me, it looks like an old chassis, like an old, really used chassis. I could be wrong, but it's just, I don't know. That's an interesting looking battery.
Mic on.
All right. So what's the verdict? What's the verdict? Is it gonna save? Is it gonna save the company?
I mean,
Did they
can't
show it?
save because it hasn't been owned by a U.S. family in forever. But
Who owns it? Is it Canadian?
No, I think it was a Japanese company that bought
Ford?
it back in 2009. Yeah. It was back during the first economic crisis. Ford Motor Company is no longer owned by the Ford family because they sold it. But I mean, I don't know. It really could be neat in reference to, you know, them just getting on the market, because people just keep seeing how much, you know, people like Tesla, how much people, you know, like having these eco-friendly vehicles. And there's a lot more, for instance, states like, for instance, California, that are being more and more stricter in reference to smog and emissions, and having the feature of obviously that hybrid where it's both gas and electric, or just straight up electric. It makes a huge difference. It really does. So it could definitely do well for them, but time will tell in the next 2 days when it's unveiled, I guess. Oh my God, State Farm!
State Farm! Now, this isn't quite smaller. So the problem, this is, I guess, other than the fact that it's owned by a Japanese company, so it's in the infrastructure money. There's money in for EVs and the infrastructure money, which assumed that was going to happen. I don't know. I want it to look like the old Discovery. You know, I want the not the old Discovery, but like the 2007.
Like the Land Rovers and Land Cruisers and.
Yeah, well, I want the Discovery, not it's the Land Rover, but not the like this one right here. This is what I want it to look like, and I feel like the electric one didn't meet that, and I feel like the Hummer did meet that kind of thing. Like, if you liked Hummers, which, you know, I think they look cool, but I never owned one.
Oh my God, but the Hummer trucks are so ugly.
I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool, and the new one looks amazing. I'm all for it, and it's recognizable. The new Discovery doesn't look right. So Biden's going to the Ford plant before. So Ford's about to unveil the F-150 Lightning, right? Unveil, whatever. Feel and lamb chops, chicken, Tyson.
They're about to undeer.
They're about to undeer it, and before that happens, and they're doing it at like 9:30 at night, I guess East Coast time. I don't know. So,
and at least it's aftermarket, I guess, so it can't change.
That's true. That's a good point. It'll change pre-market. Everything changes market. But Biden's getting to go get like a first glimpse at it, and I don't know if that's going to be on the radio or on TV, because if it's on TV, then how are they unveiling it if he's looking at it? And it's on TV, you know?
That's a good
covered
point.
Up. He's going to look underneath that cover that was covering it and be like, I saw it and you did, and haha. Like, I don't know what the fuck
like,
that
guys,
means.
I want to tell you, I saw what it looked like. I just don't remember.
But doesn't it just scream? Doesn't this just remind you of? Remember, I complained about Trump and the beans. You know, doesn't it?
The advertising.
Yeah,
I mean,
isn't it just the same thing almost? It's not the same because it's not. He doesn't have a little Ford Lightning truck on the Oval Office desk.
It's gonna be the same if he gets given one.
He starts rolling around in a Ford Lightning.
Give him one.
Yeah, they probably are. They're gonna give.
Then, yes, it will be a huge advertisement, and
they're gonna give his son one.
Huge lift, and with everything going on with COVID, how the fuck can the Ford Motor Company come in and schedule an appointment, so to speak, with the President of the United States to unveil a fucking truck?
How do you think? Recovery. It's over.
Money.
I told you. Exactly. Isn't that bothersome? So here's the other thing that I don't like about it. When I first heard about it, I was like, okay, good. It's not GM, so it makes me a little bit sad, a little bit teary-eyed, but that's okay. It's Ford. And now you tell me Ford's owned by a Japanese company. And I got nothing against Japanese people, but if my tax dollars are going towards an infrastructure bill, towards American fucking companies, I want it to go to American companies. Is that so wrong?
No, I mean, it makes sense.
Now, next thing you know, you're going to tell me GM's owned by some Canadian company or some shit. And then I guess that would be an American company, technically. But I want USA company. My tax dollars, USA company. I got no problem with sending money to other countries, and I don't want to get into war and all that nonsense. But you know what I mean? Like in general, helping out. I got no problem with, dishing out COVID vaccine patents and all that. I don't care. We could do all that stuff. I'm fine with all that. But if you're going to take my tax dollars and give it to a police station to help police people, it needs to be in America. If you're going to give my money from infrastructure for cars, it's to be with an American manufacturer. That means GM. That means Tesla. Sons of bitches. There, I've said it. So now I was all for Ford, but now that I know it's Japanese owned, I don't know.
It's still not bad. I mean, they still have, some Ford family members that are on like the board and stuff. So I mean, it's still, you still get that essence, but the company that does own it, yes, is not U.S. based. But I mean that.
Yeah, well then, why don't they take some Japanese infrastructure tax dollars and put it towards it, and use my money on Chipotle. Is that American owned?
I don't know.
Give Chipotle some money. People need burritos, After the fucking couple of years we've had, people need like a nice little burrito and a little bit of sunshine. It would be beneficial. So that's what I got on Ford. I got in.
Again,
yeah, I got back in, which is lower now. So got out, made a little bit, and I'm back in now at what is that? 1179, 1181. It's like, yeah, 1181. So got in at 1181. Looks like I did the right thing. Especially when I heard that Biden news, I was like, whoa, gotta go. And I expect it to do a good run up to the announcement, and I'll probably get out tomorrow. Because, I don't know. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. They're not going to have a fire, happen. Plus, I don't know. I mean, sales they beat earnings. I also think vehicles, I don't know. I don't want to hold anything that long anyways. If I had to hold it long, I'd be okay with it. That's why I bought it. But this thing hits close to this resistance point right here. I'll probably cash out, it's my guess. Maybe on wherever I drew that line. But, I mean, I believed it was going to hit here before, and so there's a good chance now that they're rolling out the F-150, and I'll probably jump out here. I don't know. I may shave some off here and then here. Maybe save a little bit for that. I don't know. I don't want to be greedy. I've taken enough losses right now that I don't want to be greedy on anything. Just take the win and move on. You know what I mean?
Well.
So.
That's
do
whatever
Ford.
You feel comfortable with. So it might not just be Ford in general. So it looks like in 2008, because I was trying to figure it out, because I knew that there was a company that bought them. So Ford sells Jaguar and Land Rover.
I like Land Rover.
2008.
Oh, Tata Motors. What is that? Oh, what? That's Japanese? That doesn't look like a Japanese flag.
I am taking a look. Subsidiaries: Jaguar, Land Rover, Daewoo. Key people. Headquarters in Mumbai, India. So not Japanese.
Yeah, wasn't Tata Motors the company that came out years ago when the Mini Cooper was really big and the Smart Car was really big, and they first started getting big? They came out, I think it was them. They came out with a car that was like, I don't know, something crazy, like $4,000. And it was a little car about the size of a Mini Cooper, and it was like this. I remember listening to the guy. He's like, this is gonna make it to where anybody can buy a car brand new for like $6,000 or something.
They still sell those in like India, but I think they failed the safety.
Yep, in America for freeways, they failed the safety on the freeway. And so they basically made it to where you couldn't buy them in America at all.
But
you could buy a golf cart that's not safe on the freeway. I don't know.
Or four-wheeler.
I don't know. I really feel like they did them wrong, You know, that could because not just people in India could use a $6,000 car. There's a lot of Americans right now that have never owned a brand new car. You know, I never have owned a brand new car, and I don't ever plan on owning a brand new car either. But there are some people who, you know, may never get a chance, don't have a chance to own a brand new car. And a $6,000 brand new car, you know how many people's dreams that can make their dreams come true? You know?
I mean, that's so much cheaper than used cars these days, too.
Yeah. $6,000? Are you kidding me? Like, that's it. You get that? You got 4 years out of it? That's great. You know, right? 3 years? It depends on how you drive. I got 2 months and then I'm out of mileage. So the car doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna burn through the warranty instantly. I just gotta catch it before transmission goes.
Transitioning from cars, ladies and gentlemen, the next topic on the list is Plug Power Inc., which provides alternative energy technology which focuses on the design, development, commercialization, and manufacture of hydrogen and fuel cell systems used primarily for the material handling and stationary power markets. Its fuel cell system solution is designed to replace lead-acid batteries in electric material handling vehicles and industrial trucks and some distribution and manufacturing businesses. The company was founded by George C. McNamee and Larry G. Garberding. Garberding? Like, these names, great. On June 27, 1997, and is headquartered in, looks like, Latham, New York. Or Latham, I don't know. I'm not from New York. I'm probably getting it wrong.
It's Latham, but you got to say it with an accent.
I've never been to the East Coast. That's all you, buddy.
Your best New York accent.
No.
What?
No.
Okay, moving on. So we've transitioned from electric vehicles to what the electric vehicles need to charge. Plug Power is the company you go to when you think about who's going to run the charging network, right? So that's the other thing. If EV vehicles are a big part of infrastructure, then the real big part of infrastructure is the infrastructure to actually use the EV vehicles. You need charging stations. So Plug Power is the one that, at least for me, is the go-to on that. Yeah, and I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because this thing ran up, and then where are we looking at here? February 16th. I think this was growth stocks. It began to fall a little bit, but somewhere around here was the big growth drop. I think it might have been around here, and they experienced it as well, and they've been falling ever since. And so it's one of those things like, you know, what faith do you have in a company that specializes in making charging stations basically for, you know, EV vehicles if there's no damn EV vehicles on the road? Like, it's completely useless. But you got GM pushing it heavy. You got Tesla, obviously, who's already getting it done. You know what I mean? Who's an American manufacturer, might I add. And I'm just boosting Tesla because I'm in Tesla right now. So really don't want them to drop anymore. Buy Tesla. It's American owned. Yeah. Okay. It looks like it's not too bad. Not too bad. The pain isn't too bad. It got a little scary there for a minute.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going back to, we are not financial advisors, so please do not take our advice, but buy everything Tesla.
Yeah, buy everything Tesla. If you want to save America and cause the recovery to happen and end world poverty and cause Dogecoin to go to the moon, then buy Tesla.
Yeah, every Tesla you purchase saves a flying pig from the butchery.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I'm such a mess. Anyway, so Plug Power is they're kind of the go-to thing for that, and it looks like they had earnings today, but I'm not seeing the earnings. I'm not seeing the results on earnings here. 10 days from now on the 28th. Oh, did they push the earnings out for 10 days? That's a little.
They're
Yes.
estimating to be negative too.
I would bet, yeah. Yep.
They're probably pushing it out because, I mean, they can't really fudge the numbers, but depending upon how this Ford reveal goes and how many people pre-order this truck.
Well, it's not just that. Biden's going to be there to see it before it gets revealed, which means he's talking about it with his infrastructure plan. So it's just like anything else. So we have, and this is, I mean, without getting too political, and anybody can argue this all they want, but this is the bottom fucking line, okay? You got lights in your house because the government subsidized the electricity, the electrical companies. We got cell phones because the government subsidized the cell phone network. We got internet because the government subsidized the internet. You know, we got airports and airlines because the government subsidized the airline industry. And we will have EVs because the government is subsidizing the EV market. And who the fuck didn't think that was going to happen? Like, that's going to happen. People bitch about it. They're like, oh, they wouldn't be able to stand on their own 2 feet if it wasn't for the tax dollars. You're right. And neither would electricity, but it does.
I want to interrupt our daily broadcast with the government can subsidize me. I mean, I no.
No, the government is subsidizing you with the chip.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. As well as I want to bring up another snack that my friend sent because they're delicious. Hers. Have you had the brand Hers chips?
Hold on, let me zoom you in here real quick. First, hold on, let me zoom me in.
Yeah.
This is me!
Yeah. Hers.
That's my snack!
Yeah.
All right, and take it away.
Jalapeno popper flavored cheese curls.
Oh yeah, I've had those.
I've never had
that brand too.
Hers brand. So these are delicious.
We got a thing out here called Uncle Ray's. That's unbelievable. They're Funyuns.
We got so our friend from Canada. They sent us snacks. I'm forgetting the brand, but ketchup chips.
No.
I am surprised that they taste so good, but at the same time, I cannot eat a lot of them. However, the missus
I'm sure you can't.
Fucking destroys the bag.
Is she pregnant? Wait, do you have a picture of the bag? Wait, hold on. Let me go back to the screen.
Maybe.
Do you have a picture of ketchup chips? I'm gonna Google it. I don't even believe it exists.
I don't know.
I think you're making this shit up.
No.
I don't even know.
Ketchup chips.
There's a ketchup shortage?
I hope not. 1 month ago, 6 days ago.
Oh my god, there's a ketchup shortage.
I didn't know that.
There's a bubble tea shortage? You're going to be hearing it nonstop. There's going to be a shortage in everything. Everything that we had to reduce production of because of COVID, there's now a shortage of. All
Makes sense.
What's it
ketchup
called?
chips.
Ketchup chips?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe
Canada.
Oh my god. Google, stop listening to me. That's the government's job.
Oh, Kurz has their own brand as well. Old Dutch.
Nice.
Old Dutch is the ones that they sent.
That's a nice box. That's nice advertising.
They sent like big
that looks like Tabasco
old
sauce. That's twin portion, emballage, double portion. What the hell?
It's in English and French because it's French Canadian.
Oh, that's racist.
I don't believe so, but
Yeah,
sure.
no, I'm pretty sure.
All right, cool. They also sent the cheesies. Those cheesies. They sent Mr. Big. They sent all of those. All of those
Mr.
candies
Big?
in that as well. Yeah. They sent every single one of those candies that are in there.
Nunderbar. Nunderbar.
Yeah, so we got that like a month ago or whatever, and they I apologize. I'm totally off topic, but they were just oddly delicious. I don't know what you're wanting to buy for $2,300 right now.
It's a chip warmer.
A chip warmer.
You ever go to a restaurant and get like tortilla chips and they're hot and they taste fucking delicious?
Yeah.
Hot?
Do you want to know why they're hot? at, for instance, Red Robin because they microwave them after.
Really?
They will fry them, and then when they go to serve them, they will microwave them.
It might get chewy if I microwave them to get chewy. I prefer to make my own tortilla chips anyways. Maybe not.
Ketchup chips. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. Like,
However, one time somebody told me that they put ketchup on their popcorn, and I called bullshit on that too, and then I tried it, and it wasn't that bad. So. I know. I'm not going to try and push it on you, but it wasn't that bad. I don't know what the problem is. Moving on. Plug Power. This is the company that, based off of Ford and Biden's visit there, I feel is possible to get a bump. The problem with it is it's been trending downward heavily, and it's fucking scary. And so buying into it, I don't know. I mean, look at this. Here's the problem. $2.54 fucking cents. I mean, there's other lines of support, but let's see. We're here. It just keeps breaking these lines of support. They're not exactly matching anyways. I don't know. It's a scary one.
I mean, if this is the company that Ford is using, then I mean that. Do we know if this is a company that Ford's using?
No, that's the thing is, if you have an electric vehicle, you can use whoever the hell you want.
So, okay, so then let's see.
But they're the ones. I wonder if there's. Yeah, look at this. Plug Power, last chance to board the hydrogen hype train today at 11:32 a.m.
French automaker group Renault and U.S.-based Plug Power plus 11.9% today announced a memorandum of understanding to create a standalone joint venture that will build, market electric fuel cell, blah, 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 blah. It definitely doesn't specify who or what company is using them. So, I mean, that is kind of a hard...
Yeah, well, they're just... Anybody can use them. They're electronic.
Well, I know anybody could use
drive
them,
up and plug in.
But I'm just saying, like...
They're the future Citgo or, Shell station. Like, it's... Or they sell the pumps that go in the Shell station, I guess. I don't know how it works. I mean, let's see. What does their website look like?
Let's see. Trading View takes us to Plug Power. Buildings. Be part of it. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. See, they got.
Oh, wait a minute. What's in that? Looks like they're siphoning gas over here. Trying to fake everybody out.
Yeah, weren't supposed to see that.
What the hell's going on? There's drones and trains. Trains?
Mm-hmm.
That's an infrastructure too. He mentioned rail numerous times. Now, I tried looking up rail options last night and this morning, and I cannot find one that I like.
In the news, bottom left-hand side of their page specifies Plug Power to bring wind-powered hydrogen plant to Fort Worth. That was updated just 3 days ago. To the bottom left there.
Yep, this one.
And they tapped into North
through the
American
winter?
transit markets. I mean, I don't know.
That was the problem. Remember when Texas froze over and all their windmills stopped working because somebody was cheap and get the ones that can happens every 10, 15 years or some shit, I guess it happens.
Yeah. They're just not prepared for anything down there.
They're prepared for the recovery. Hey, Latham, didn't you bring that up before? Oh, never mind. That's because they're based there. Never mind. See, I'm learning. Hey, guy. Dad.
So zero emission solutions for warehouse equipment manufacturing producing products like AGVs and small robotics and aerospace UAVs.
I like it. I don't like the stock though. I don't like the chart.
Their Progen fuel cell engines. And they also show that they're using it in medium duty, basically delivery vans, light and medium duty cargo trucks, heavy duty. I mean, there's definitely a lot that they're working on, but yeah, I mean, FedEx is one of their customers for their product.
I don't know. See, I'm so torn. I'm so torn by this because when is Biden meeting at Ford?
I don't know. You tell me.
May 18th. Fucking tomorrow. I don't have enough time.
Investments.
I have to move some things around. I sat in cash for too long. So what are these people talking about? Come on, man. Oh, there we go. Picture a parking lot. Look at that. See those double stacked trains? My trip down, they were all over, double stacked. Every single train that went by is double stacked.
Is that where they're hiding all the fuel?
No, it's where the corn is, man.
Show.
We got the corn. Not in this. This is my Amazon delivery coming. It's from IKEA. You got to put it together, and they packaged it and put it in all these different things. So it'll get here on different dates.
Good luck with that.
Thanks. What the hell is that?
Come on the last day.
Yeah, the instructions are last. Oh, no, the revised instructions come a few days after the original instructions come. They made a revision. They send that afterward. That's okay. You're out of here. So tomorrow, he goes tomorrow. Oh my God. And they have earnings tomorrow. Ah.
Didn't we just discuss that they were pushing their earnings off for like 10 days?
Yeah, I guess.
Because the earnings were actually for today. Yeah. Unconfirmed for in 10 days from now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Which again,
they're going to have bad earnings, right? They're going to miss the estimate. And they're going to miss the estimate, but it's going to be okay because Biden's going to talk about their pivotal role and the future infrastructure of EV vehicles and the energy independence of America and the future of the automotive climate crisis savior complex, right? Something like that. Does that sound? I think that sounds right.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll go with it.
Based off of that, is he going to talk about plug power directly? No. Is he going to talk about EV charging stations? Maybe. Or even, see, this is one of those other things where maybe a politician visits Ford, and does Ford talk about, not plug power, but does Ford talk about, EV charging stations? Does it say it's going to be dependent on the success of EV vehicles? Is going to be dependent on the government's ability to help subsidize, they're not going to say it this way at all, but the EV charging stations throughout America, because that's what we need. We cannot do it without having, can you imagine the line if right now everybody switched to electric vehicles? You've seen electric, you got electric charging stations in your town, right?
Yep. We have some Tesla ones. Yes.
What if that's all there was right now is electric charging stations? Or what if all there was electric vehicles with the current amount of electric charging stations?
So the last time that, Biden had any control was back during the Obama-Biden administration, and they did cash for clunkers.
Yep.
Do you think that they'll come out with another one?
Yes, I do, for EV vehicles.
Gas for electric?
Yep. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think that in fact, now that you're saying it that way, I didn't think of it until just now. I thought that there was going to be a similar thing to cash for clunkers for EV vehicles, but because of what you just said, it makes me think what's really going to happen is it's going to be a tax credit for the amount of mileage that you use in your EV Probably. In fact, that would be the ultimate. So the accurate way to do it would be to exchange last year's estimated gas receipts, or however you do your taxes, even if it's just like here's a standard deduction amount for what you're going to use in gas, and then credit that for EV, right? So we're talking, depending on the electric vehicle, somewhere between, after taxes, I think between 40,000 to, up to who knows, but on average, probably 40,000 to 80,000 for a new electric vehicle. And then if they did a tax credit for the gas mileage, you're talking what, $5,000 off the price, somewhere in that range, by giving a full tax credit if you get an EV vehicle off the amount that you would spend on gas. But a better way to do it for the economy would be an actual either standard deduction amount as a tax credit, or show us your damn mileage on your electric vehicle. It wouldn't be really good for the environment, but it'd be good for the economy. And you'd have to drive, because then the more you drove, the more candy you would buy, and the more places you would visit, the more Airbnbs you would use, the more Marriott's you would stay at. Because you'd want to get that mileage credit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but 100%, I do believe that
I can see the positive and negatives with that, but I mean, that's something that could, definitely could happen.
And I think it will happen, and it's just a matter of if it's going to be affecting, will it be starting this year, or will it be starting next year? That's the question. That's the only question I have, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and this could just be him announcing, we have this plan to do this, and we're partnering. You don't think so?
I don't think he'll announce it yet. It would have leaked through already. I think it's just going to be more of EVs are the future. This ties in with my current infrastructure plan. Like it'll stage up to that. But I don't think we'll hear shit about that until either right before July or after July, because the infrastructure plan is expected to pass in July. So he'll want to keep that. He'll want to spend the amount of money he can spend right now through this current infrastructure plan and deal with the arguments he's got to deal with based off of its own merits. And then later, after that shit goes through, after that's already passed, that's when he's going to come out with, hey, I got another brilliant idea. We're going to do this. And then a bunch of Republicans are going to be like, oh my God, you can't just give tax credits to everybody. And a bunch of oil people are going to be like, oh my God, we're upset about this. Even though Exxon's already going to be in on the game. Chevron will already be in on the game. They're already headed that direction. But if ethanol doesn't get a piece of the action, I'll tell you what, the corn farmers are going to be pissed. And all the people who owe them favors from the golf course, they're going to be pissed too. Fucking serious.
I mean, it definitely things to take into consideration and look at. They would have to find some sort of alternative form of getting that fuel back up and going to produce that electric, processing. But it's all speculation. It's all possible. Plug power, is it a good one to get into? From what we're looking at right now,
it is.
Maybe.
Is it a good one to get into
to
now
hold for a while?
Yeah, for long term, it is. Yeah.
And that's going to be it for plug power, because it's electric. We're going to touch more on it, later when we find out what happens with Ford.
Plug power will be getting to be exciting for everyone, and everyone will talk about it again when it does this. But
when it rises?
Yeah, when it does this jump. And the problem is you see this jump, it's easy to look at this after the fact, be like, ooh, so obvious. But a lot of people looked at it here when it jumped and said, should I get into it? Because it may just continue to drop. You know what I mean? And they didn't get in. And then it jumped up. And then the same question occurs. And then here, people said, I should get into it, because if not, I'm going to miss out. And, here. And then they got left. They got stuck. They're still holding it at $75 a share. And they're waiting. And they're probably going to sell as soon as this thing fucking goes. As soon as it gets back there. All right.
Yeah. So the next on the agenda is TRQ, ladies and gentlemen. And TRQ is Turquoise Hill Resources Ltd. Engages in the exploration and development of mineral properties. It focuses on looks like oil, Tolgoi copper gold mine. The company was founded by Robert Martin Friedland on January 25th, 1994, and is headquartered in Montreal, Canada. Now, they made earnings, but they took a dive. So, what's going on?
I don't know. Probably the Chinese government and taxes. So I've been messing with.
Well, it's a Canadian-based company, so.
Yeah, but one of their largest mines is in Mongolia.
Ooh.
Mongolia. Let's see. Does it say why here? Earnings call. Surging COVID cases. What day was the fall on this thing? May 13th.
Yeah, it looks that way. I mean, it started to fall on the 12th, but definitely dove on the 13th.
So metals are up right now. I don't know. I guess maybe the 12th. Maybe it's one of these voting things. So TRQ is an interesting one because it's a Canadian company, and you know what that means.
It's successful.
Yes, and wait, is it in all of Canada or just on the east side?
Just said it's headquartered in Montreal, Canada.
No, where they have to put everything in English and in French.
Oh, I don't know.
Half the country or something, or it's in one of the provinces. I don't know.
I have no idea.
So the Mac Daddy is telling me this thing's going to keep going down, right? And that it's overbought. Metals are in right now, you know. GNI. I'm just sell this one. Not necessarily metal, but gold and stuff like that is up. TRQ I originally got interested in because copper, right? And because of its antimicrobial benefits, I thought that's what it had a 1 to 10 split. What the fuck? And so I stayed away from this thing for a while. And then I dipped my toes back in and got the hell out. This is what I traded out my GameStop for, TRQ. First real stock that I think I really paid attention to and looked at. They have like one of the largest gold mines or silver mines or something in the world. It's maybe not the largest, but it's one of the largest, and it has like a ton of shit in it. But the problem is like China's like, oh yeah, no, you're cool. You're cool. Go ahead and start digging. No, you want to put some money in, invest and do more? Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. Don't worry about it. And then they start doing that, and then they're like, yeah, we're doing good. And then China's like, guess what? Random tax. Oh, we're going to tax you. And it just fucks all their shit up. And so I'm guessing it's been through a lot of bullshit. There's like corruption and stuff. I don't want to call it corruption. I'm not slandering anybody.
Corruption.
I like the company. Corruption.
Criminal activity.
And like government manipulation and China.
Dirty players.
Yeah, all this shit.
And China.
Yeah, and China.
And China.
But minerals and mining is back up, and just a quick peek because I did get out of it.
I'm reading through. I mean, on their website, it luckily has some additional information. But I mean, they had a government agreement that they set into place in 2009 and signed it in 2015 for a 30-year term. So I mean, even with the change in taxes and stuff, they should be locked in an agreement for at least 30 years. So they shouldn't really have any issue in regards to that up until 2045.
If when you made an agreement with the government, either China or even the United States, if they stuck with the United States, will change an agreement on you every 4 years based off of what political power is in charge. And China will change an agreement based off of what suits them and their interest.
As soon as they flip the coin and say,
So,
all right, you're out.
It's a dangerous one, but I feel more, like it's one of those things where like, a lot of the dirty stuff, I guess. And so you feel a little bit more comfortable about it because you kind of have an idea as to what kind of things can happen. And then as I've been afraid of it and been watching it, I I guess I think I originally started getting involved in this range. Yeah. End of last year, I think is when I started looking at this. So, and I was afraid, and as you can see, there are times when that fear would be well founded. I mean, if you were up here at 21 and dropped down to 16, that would hurt. But then again, if you were in at 7, right, or 8, and it's now 16, that's a double in less than a year. 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, somewhere there. So I like it. I'm watching it again. It scares the shit out of me. But at the same time, with if metals and stuff are going to be on the rise, then this is I'm paying attention to. Now that I'm talking about it more, I'm talking myself into it. Probably try and find. Well, I'll probably try and find an entrance. I got to find out why. I need a little bit more research to really know why this happened right here. And if I can find a legit reason, then this thing should be going back up at least to 18, right? I mean, it may not take the full amount, and then within a reasonable amount of time, you should be looking, right? And if it traces down, like a lot of stuff falls pretty heavy. I'd like to see it start to come back, but I don't know. I don't mind. Like if something's at 14, right? And I feel like it's going to go to 20, but then tomorrow it may go down to 13. Part of me wants to wait until it gets to 13 before I take a ride up to 20. But then like this morning, part of me is like, I'm not taking that chance. Like when it came to Discovery, the
why
big
would you
risk.
want to?
Well, because like Discovery was very likely to fall even further. I just feel like it's also very likely to catch, I don't see why it couldn't be hitting here based off of some fancy news within a reasonable amount of time. But before it hits here, it could go down there. And what happens is when it goes down, either one, you got yourself a, when you're doing something like that, either one, you have a stop limit involved that's going to stop you out and it's going to sell the shares and you're going to be forced into a loss, or two, you do what I do and you don't have a stop limit at all, and if this thing falls all the way down to the floor, you're broke. So give me 1 second.
Yeah,
Mic off.
That wouldn't be good. Well, while we're giving him 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, that's the information you're going to get for the mine. So realistically, I don't know. It's something that originally, as he mentioned, the anti-chrome deal, or whatever. My brain's not wanting to work. The ability to be germ resistant because of the copper is why he looked into it. With everything with COVID, there was a thought that it could potentially sell more because it, healthier in a sense with everything that was going on with COVID. So one to definitely continue looking at. The next up on the list today, though, we got Cardano.
Cardano. This is a cryptocurrency.
Ooh.
And I mean, we don't talk about cryptocurrency very much because it's cryptocurrency.
What are you talking about? We got like so much about Doge already.
Yeah, we're talking about Doge. Doge is exciting. So, okay, I'm going to run through my logic on this real quick, and then we're going to get away from Cardano, okay?
Okay.
So, Bitcoin, right?
Gotcha.
Bitcoin, like the original cryptocurrency, I'm pretty sure it's like the first one. Like, I don't know if you know the story of Bitcoin, just a quick short of it. Out of nowhere, this thing like appears, and nobody knows who made it. Like this really amazing, crazy code comes out, and nobody knows who made it. Probably gonna bounce off this damn line, and I got rid of it today. Whatever. So it has a lot of really interesting usage, and on top of that, a bunch of other type of clones. They take the exact type of code and then they rework it and reverse engineer it or whatever and create their own, but it's all based off it. Like somebody creates a website and now you have a bunch of different types of websites, but it originated from somewhere, and this somewhere that it originated from, nobody knows. So anyways, Elon Musk for a long time is like, buy Bitcoin, Bitcoin's awesome, da da da. You could buy a Tesla with your Bitcoin, right? Everyone should buy Bitcoin, and people are buying Bitcoin, and big companies are taking reserves of Bitcoin and blah, 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 right? Meanwhile, Dogecoin becomes very popular, right? And Elon Musk is like, buy Dogecoin. Dogecoin's awesome. Who cares? It's all a joke. Plebes. I'm rich, bitch. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and invest everything in it. And he pumps it up. And then the other day he comes out, or yesterday, and he's like, you know, Bitcoin kind of sucks because it takes a lot of energy to mine Bitcoin and use Bitcoin, and it's not good for the environment, and so fuck Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin just starts to fall. Okay. Now, on top of that, you have Bitcoin being the number one. You have Ethereum, which has far more uses to Bitcoin. And it's skyrocketing and going down. Most of the other things that you hear about in the cryptocurrency space are actually Ethereum, is what you're hearing about, because Ethereum allows you to do these, they're called smart contracts, but it's basically like Ethereum is almost the type of code that's being used, and then you can use that code to make other things, and then it's all housed on that blockchain and then spun off. So it's, without going too much into detail, let's just say that you got Bitcoin, you got Ethereum, everybody knows it, and they're two different things, but they're also the same thing, because they're both technically using blockchain ledger technology, which is created by some guy named Satoshi Nakamura, which is probably a fake name for some guy that nobody knows who he is, right? Anyways, so long time ago, Ethereum has this breakup, and I think it happened around the same time where they have some disagreements on how Ethereum should be handled, and there's also some damage occurs with some nonsense, and they split. They do what's called a fork. Now, technically, Ethereum is not a fork of Bitcoin by any means, but a similar thing to taking the Bitcoin code and then redoing a different thing, but on the same. So it's not written the same way as Bitcoin is. It's using the same idea of a ledger, right? I'm not a coder, so who cares? Point is, Ethereum at some point in time does what's called a fork, where you take the exact same code almost, just with a slight modification, and say, nope, we're not using the old one anymore. We're using a new one. Everyone use this one. And a bunch of people stay with it, and that is ETC, Ethereum Classic, which is seriously, I don't want to offend anybody, but it's basically dead. Dead. It's been dead. But then again, I said Doge was dead too, so, and then I bought Doge. So look, if Ethereum Classic starts to show some signs of life, yeah, I might buy some to try and make some money, whatever. And I'll probably lose, just like I did on Doge and Bitcoin.
I gained on Doge.
Did you? Yeah, well, I did too until I lost. I stayed at the tables a little too long on Doge, let's say. Now I'm still actually waiting out Doge. It's Bitcoin that I lost faith in, and only because the media. Anyways, so Ethereum forks, you got Ethereum Classic, and one of the guys involved spins off and has Cardano, which is ADA right here. So the problem that Elon Musk had with Bitcoin is that Bitcoin is a proof of work system. So I'm able to mine Ethereum, and I keep bringing up Ethereum because Ethereum and Cardano are very similar in the sense that they're both about to have smart contracts. Ethereum's had smart contracts this entire time, and Bitcoin may not have smart contracts, but it uses mining to mine the new tokens and to prove that it's called proof of work. So it's so weird that it sends this random computer problem for the computers to solve. Ethereum uses GPUs, is the most effective way to mine, and Bitcoin uses CPU power to mine because it's a different algorithm, and so those two, the GPU versus the CPU, handles it differently. And CPU mining takes a lot, you know what I mean? Dogecoin is tied with Litecoin now, and I'm pretty dang sure that, maybe I could be wrong, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that Litecoin is CPU is the most effective way to mine it too. Anyways, Ethereum is dropping all mining, right, and moving to a proof of stake. And a lot of people like myself that were like at one point in time mining are like, this is bullshit. You know, I'm not as upset as other people, but they're like, this is bullshit. So you will very possibly see another fork in Ethereum when this occurs. It is very possible that we will then have 3 major Ethereums. There's like a couple others. There'll be 3 major ones. But most people will move on to the new one, which is a proof of stake. And on that, you can actually have, like, you go buy yourself some Ethereum and you hold it. And now it's a trust-based system based off of the fact that you own Ethereum. I can't even explain it without reading it and don't want to.
So then how does this tie into Cardano?
Okay, so Cardano is already a proof of stake system. Ethereum is a proof of work system that allows smart contracts, which means there's an actual usage for the code. Bitcoin is just a currency, a store of value, and it keeps data on a ledger on the receipt. So basically, I give you $1, you give me a receipt that says I gave you the $1. And on that receipt, you can write a note on the receipt. There's enough room for that. Ethereum, I give you $1, and the receipt you give me is actual code that can then, like the Batman NFT, and it, like, he was all animated, like, it can do stuff with the code. I can give you $1, you can give me a receipt, and that receipt could actually be a website. It could be the code for a website, or for that damn matter, and it hasn't been done to, I mean, sure, it's kind of maybe, but whatever. You could technically, I'm sure, with a lot of work, and it wouldn't be efficient whatsoever, and so you wouldn't, but you could give me $1, right? Or I could give you $1, and you could give me a copy of Skyrim through a smart contract. Like, you could develop it in a way that it gives you an actual game, or access to a game, or a sword that is yours in game, that's a unique item that can be transferred around, which is what you will eventually see a lot of. Anyways, so the problem with it is it's based off of mining, and it goes back to the same problem that Elon Musk has with Bitcoin, and that is that proof of work requires massive amounts of electricity to work, especially the more expensive the coin gets. Pretty sure that's a big factor. I could be crazy. I gotta read that now because I feel like I'm the only one thinking that, but whatever.
You could be losing it again.
I could. I lost a long time ago. So, Ethereum moving to proof of stake, Cardano already at proof of stake, and Cardano only $1.98 versus Ethereum at currently 3,200 or whatever it is, Bitcoin at 40,000 or whatever it is. And so those coins were once, Ethereum and Bitcoin were once at the dollar range. They were once at the penny ranges. And so the thing that's cool about coins like this, and what most people are looking for in cryptocurrency is or in blockchain technology, in its cryptocurrency, is the chance to strike it rich. You always see the question, what if you bought Bitcoin at $1.98? What if you bought Ethereum at $1.98? Cardano is your answer that you have. Now, maybe not. Maybe Cardano doesn't make it to, you know, what can Cardano get to? 300?
Realistically, the way this cryptocurrency works, it could realistically get to anything over time.
Mm-hmm. Including 1 or 0. Considering Cardano is even less, I think, decentralized. But Cardano's interesting to me for a couple different reasons. One, there's a chance for a large gain, and I occasionally get in and out of Cardano already. But also because of what is going on with it. So one, there's a couple things happening in the space right now that are interesting. One, Elon Musk talks shit about Bitcoin. Basically, that's the bottom line. You can spin it however you want, but that's the bottom line. He sends out a tweet, talks shit about Bitcoin. Bitcoin falls through the floor. Ethereum falls based off of sympathy and the fact that it was already overpriced. And you see that the whole cryptocurrency space begins to take the dive. Dogecoin was already going up. He goes on and about it on Saturday Night Live. And then he mentions the reason why he doesn't like Bitcoin is because it takes too much energy. And he's talking with the Dogecoin people about doing a secondary project and making Dogecoin possibly a proof of stake coin, which solves some of that problem. Now, he can still push that all he wants, and it can still do well. But Cardano already is and is about to release smart contracts. And I think we see that if we pull up news reports on Cardano, I think we would see that that is potentially happening in July. When this happens, here's a use case scenario for Cardano. Remember Twitter and when they told Trump he couldn't be on Twitter anymore? Because Twitter's owned by some people. It's a centralized, public, profitable company. Cardano, I got to look a little bit more into it, but I'm pretty sure Ethereum already has this possibility. But if it goes too high, then it doesn't. Anyways, Cardano has the possibility with smart contracts to create, for instance, you could code a clone or a similar service, a social media website, and not have an owner to that site, which means the owner could not kick off the next Trump or the current Trump or the last Trump or whatever, or Biden. Maybe in the future, Biden wants to go on about some crazy madness about people on his lawn and how the Langoliers are coming to get you. I don't know, but if he starts talking about the Langoliers, nobody can come in and be like, whoa, bro, you got to undo that. Nope, too late. It's on the blockchain. Once it's on there, it's on there. It's done. Now, there's some other concerns with that, but basically, Cardano is going to be getting smart contracts. Everyone has known this for a while. This is not new news whatsoever. The only thing that's new about it is the general interest of people in the crypto space that currently are investing in crypto and Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they want the next gold rush, who are unaware and are going to start being aware very soon that Cardano currently solves a problem that both Bitcoin and Ethereum have, that Musk has. That's a good, valid point. They already have solved this problem by having it be proof of stake, and you could do smart contracts on it. And so there's a chance this thing could run, is why I'm looking at it. So I've already converted my Bitcoin to Cardano because I'm banking on the fact that I have a better chance of Cardano taking a run than I do of Bitcoin getting back to 55 in the same time span. Now, I'm probably wrong because there's a good chance that the rest of the world is going to be like, fuck you, Musk. Who cares?
I mean, there's quite a bit of Musk followers out there, so I mean, I doubt they're going to be like, fuck you and who cares?
I think Musk lost a lot of followers when he kind of shat on Bitcoin. The Bitcoin guys are like purists, man. They're like cultist. It's really weird. And Tesla is taking a hit too, not just from that, but they were already. It gets him back in the news, but I'm betting that the Tesla cultists are going to put aside their Bitcoin pride if they're both, and it's still going to rise. But yeah.
I mean, if he really didn't care that much about Bitcoin to begin with, or even obviously after the fact, he wouldn't still allow people to purchase Teslas using Bitcoin.
Well, he's removing that. He's removing that option. That's the.
Oh,
that's
is
the
he?
tweet.
Okay.
Removing the option, and he will replace it with Doge most likely. He's not. He is much more likely to replace it with at least the new version of Doge than he is with replacing it with Cardano. However, it may not be too long before he says, "Okay, Cardano is actually an acceptable thing to replace it with as well," or in addition, because you might as well accept multiple versions, especially if a company like Coinbase ever gets with the damn program and realizes what really needs to happen is to basically store the transaction, to move the Bitcoin into USD Tether, and then it gets purchased, because it's really that. It's USD Tether that, I don't know, I think that it could go through. That makes the actual purchase transaction stay steady. So you're not gambling on your purchase. Like, oh yeah, it's 40,000. Oh, here's $5. There you go. Sorry. It's how the market rolls, bud. Sorry.
Yeah, that would be scary. But I mean, I can see your thoughts in reference to Cardano, especially considering it's already at that point, and they're already adding in that smart contracts that's going to be here within the next couple of months. So it makes sense. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, ladies and gentlemen, buy everything.
Buy everything.
This is brought to you in part by Buy All. No. I mean, I don't know. It definitely isn't too bad of a gamble, especially considering if you're one that does want to get in on any type of cryptocurrency. Yeah, a $2 a piece cryptocurrency over a $3,200 a piece. I mean, which one do you want to try to gamble and profit or loss on? So, not everybody, of course, has that additional $3,200 to throw in, for one coin. If you got $20, I mean, hey, you can get yourself a few coins of the Cardano, so and potential for some quick profit on it as well. So I mean, that's really not too bad. Is there anything else on the agenda for today?
No, I'd say we do the wrap up, but I would like to point this out about Cardano in case anybody's listening to this is newer to the crypto space. There are a lot of different cryptocurrencies out there, and most of them are bullshit. It's just
pyramid scheme.
Some are going to be good and some are going to be bad, and it's going to be a bigger bubble and it already has been, and will continue to be a bigger bubble than the .com bubble, because so many people, it's so easy for people to get involved in it. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. But I would like to say this about Cardano, and not just because I do own some, and I've always said this about it, is the same thing with Ethereum, same thing with like EOS, and there's quite a few. And a good thing to look at is actually Coinbase, because Coinbase will only go with like solid ones. XRP I would be talking about, but it's too damn hard to buy it and explain to people how to buy it. But Cardano's been around for a long time. It is not a new coin. It is not some crazy off the wall. It's not a joke fucking coin. It's not some off the wall shit that just came out with, and who knows if it's going to make it. It's been going on for quite some time. Like, it's not everybody in the crypto space is familiar with Cardano in one respect or another, at least the name, if they've been in the crypto space for more than a year, let's say that. And probably even less than that. But I just want to throw that out there, because I know a lot of people, they mention coins that were just minted like 2 days ago or last month. They're like, this is going to be something or other. Or there's some other weird ones that are just, I don't want to talk shit about any coins and ruin anyone's hopes and dreams or insult anybody, but there's some shit out there that IOTA is a coin that I love, which is about the Internet of Things, and it never did very well. And I still believe that it is going to be a major player in the space, but it's never going to do very well. It is always going to stay low, because it has to stay low for the transaction cost. And Cardano probably is not going to go to 45,000. It wouldn't be as useful. There, I'll shut up.
If you can get in at $2 and it goes to 45,000, that's one hell of a profit.
Not happening.
I was just going along with your statement.
300 would be, I think, the max, and then it would lose its benefits, I think.
I mean, I guess we'll find out. Lots of things, of course, to cover, though. I mean, yeah, we went over corn, lots of corn. Issue of the Mississippi River closed, corn, REGI, the REGI, Green Plains. We went over AT&T. Also, of course, part of the media recovery and media conspiracy. Get those hats on, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, we went over the Airbnb, the EJH, Ford, Six Flags, Plug Power, TRQ, and finished up with Coronado. So, hopefully, you guys like today's due diligence on everything that we've gone over. Keep in mind, if you guys have questions or concerns, the link is down in the description below to join our Discord. Feel free to ask questions, express your concerns. If there's something you want to see us go over, comment below on the video, like the video. Feel free to subscribe if you're new here. And, of course, as always, it was fun. We'll see you guys next time when we are live with the What's the DD.